Hello and welcome to another episode of Funbearable. I am Brad Rohr.
I am Ray Harrington.
And I am Chuck the Staten.
And we are joined today by very special guest,
The specialist.
Brian Beaudoin.
Brian Beaudoin, comedian, friend, lover.
Ooh, sometimes.
Lover.
Sometimes
Yes.
lover.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Not
lover.
right now. This is for podcasts.
Sometimes defendant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One time governor.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, disgraced governor. I think, yeah.
Governor came before defendant, but then defendant was a lot. There were a lot.
I feel very good about this because Brian Beaudoin is one of my bestest friends. No offense to the two of you. I think you're
all right.
great. I think of you more as colleagues. But Brian, I've known since I moved to Rhode Island.
Kindergarten.
And, what's that?
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten. When I
Since
moved
kindergarten.
here in kindergarten.
You guys have really been up and down the lonely road of faith together, right?
Well, here's the
Kid
problem.
Rock.
Is
Kid Rock rules.
when I was in kindergarten, my father, it turned out that my father was a criminal.
Okay.
And so my mother brought me to Rhode Island.
Oh, okay.
Kind of hiding out here.
Yeah.
And I had to start a new school
But in kindergarten.
in kindergarten. Yeah.
Well, that had to be really dangerous.
It was fun.
Okay.
And the I remember the teacher. It's just a big, fucking huge, jacked guy. And we
Mrs.
met.
Iris.
We met.
But with
in-
like
Iris
with like a
was
normal
Jack.
voice and accent.
I think he was maybe
That's such a funny
Belgian or Austrian,
Just some,
perhaps?
some European.
Yeah.
German-y.
Yeah.
German-ish,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, yeah.
But I remember I met you in that kindergarten class. You wouldn't stop telling people that boys have penises and girls have vaginas.
Yeah.
That's true.
It is true.
Whoa, transphobes.
Oh! Don't put your finger down, sir.
Never mind.
We both did it, and then
it's
immediately
false, it's
you're
false,
like, "Look
it's
at
false.
it's that
I
guy.
said false.
Look, it was that guy that said it." This is why no crime will ever be committed with you.
We're
You're
tiptoeing
so bad.
today. We're tiptoeing today around the issue.
I just figured out that y'all are talking about kindergarten.
I also said Kid Rock rules at the
we had a
beginning.
ferret.
Sure did.
Yo, Ray, you remember the ferret we had in the
Yeah. That ferret was cool.
You remember when the school burnt down?
Yeah. Remember when
Your dad tried to come back and
I
get
know,
you?
and there was a shootout in the showers, and also it's an elementary school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There should be no shot. That just dawned on me. In Kindergarten Cop, in the end, the sequence takes place in the showers.
Is there K through 5 school?
I never saw Kindergarten
Sure as
Cop.
shit looks like it. It's
Okay.
a tiny
You've
school.
never seen Kindergarten Cop?
No.
Oh,
What's up, person, you?
I'm sorry
I
that
don't
we
know which
ruined it
one.
for you.
Why haven't you seen it?
There's a
Why the
bunch-
fuck? How the fuck you go through
No,
life?
listen. Legally, he's not allowed to watch it because the court said if there are more than 5 children in the movie, he's not allowed to watch.
Every time I put it on, I start saying like, "I can't be near you. I can't be near you."
Yeah. Chuck in the movie theater
You're
when
really
the movie's
missing
playing,
out.
and you're like, "Hello, my name is Chuck Staten. I just moved to town." But no, I want to get to the bottom of this because it's an elementary school in a small town, right? I think it's on.
I did showers.
Isn't it like
I did
Washington.
We had
Washington
Oregon,
State? Yeah, or
some
Oregon.
shit.
I had a gym teacher that peeked and looked and didn't, and he got in trouble.
What grade though?
Sixth.
6. Okay,
Middle
so that's
school.
middle school.
Yeah.
We didn't have showers in middle
We had
school.
showers at middle school.
We didn't.
But,
no, I'm sorry.
but nobody used them.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
We did not have showers, but we had to change for gym, and the teacher peeked at us, and we got in trouble.
Okay, you got in trouble for it?
No, he did.
Okay,
Mr. Pat. I shouldn't say his name.
no. Mr. Patch, I shouldn't say his name.
Listen, Pat shouldn't say his name.
It was
looking at
Patch
kids in the
Adams.
bathroom.
Dr. Patch Adams.
It was Dr. Patch Adams.
Yeah, he made that old lady swimming noodles. Remember that day?
But my issue is this: this kindergarten, this elementary
school.
That movie.
elementary school,
yeah.
usually what K through
K
4
through
or
5.
5,
Yeah.
right?
5.
Okay, all right, yeah. But see, my in Maine, it's like K through 4, and then 5 to 8
Is middle school. Or junior high, yeah.
Yeah, and so anyway, why did this elementary school have showers?
That's a great question.
Why are a kindergarten child can't take a shower? Like they're incapable. I have a boy, right? I have a
Right.
small boy.
Never
and-
showered.
No, he showers, but like you have to stand there on the other side of the curtain and be like, Now get the shampoo.
And he's like, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, and
I
I'm like,
did
no,
it.
you're not done.
I
And
know.
his hair is still dry. I'm like, dude, your balls and butt are gonna reek. You gotta fix this. I have to do the same thing with Brian when we go on the road together. Do the beard. Do the beard. Now
and
do the
then I
bottom
come
beard.
out, I bend
looks-
over, Ray does a spot check, and we're good to go. Yeah. And I do the same for Ray.
Thank you. We're
Yeah,
friends.
but that's a medical thing.
Do you remember Las Vegas?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had to go to Vegas for the World Series of Comedy, right? No,
Right.
comedy.
Oh.
It's the same thing. They make all the comedians sit at a table.
Yeah.
And then one guy gets real mad and throws his hat on the floor.
And that guy was Joe Lowers, the runner of the World Series of Comedy.
Oh, you
when he
mean-
lost in the car tournament.
Oh, yes. So we were rooming together.
Right.
And we assumed like regular hotel room. It wasn't. It was like a condo.
Yeah, it was
right.
beautiful.
There
Oh,
was a
nice.
bedroom. It was great. That's before Brian was diagnosed with his sleep apnea. So what I did was took an entire queen size bed and frame and took it out into the living room.
Good.
And I slept out there. I made my own little.
Because he
room.
makes too much dirty noise.
I had my I was,
Filthy
it
noise.
was sleeping. It was sleeping noises. It was snoring.
Can I ask you a question
Go
about
ahead.
sleep apnea?
Yeah.
So I'm seeing this new thing on Instagram, and maybe I'm stupid. And basically, it's like medical tape for your mouth. Have you seen this?
I've seen it.
You
yes.
seen this, folks? Have you seen that?
I'm asking- Does people?
It's I think it's called hostage tape.
It is. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
No, so is this like normal to people? Because I'm like, I don't know what this is for,
mean, it's-
but I think it's for snoring.
Some people have used it. I've heard the thing before, but it's always been in the wheelhouse of like
Crazy-
tape a tennis ball or sew a tennis ball to the back of a shirt and
Yeah.
sleep on that. So
Oh,
you,
your
you
kid
won't
has a
roll on
tooth
your
coming
back.
in, give him some whiskey. You know, shit
Oh.
like
Those
that.
old
Yeah.
wives' tales.
Put an
Yeah.
onion in your sock.
Well,
Right.
I was thinking maybe.
Dear Liza, dear Liza.
Here's what I was thinking. I guess it does make sense to me that when you snore, it's through your mouth. And if you're closing your mouth, you can't snore. And if you are blocking your airwaves and your nasal passages and your mouth, then
Did
instead
you
of
just
snoring,
point to your ears and say nasal passages?
yeah, it's all connected.
And it would wake you up instead of snoring, is what I would imagine. If you have your whole
Possibly, yeah.
mouth closed, is that right? I don't know.
I don't know.
What is the deal with this hostage tape?
I don't know,
I'm-
Jerry. What is the deal with this hostage tape?
I don't know. I've never seen hostage tape. They didn't offer me the hostage tape. I got the mask.
As,
this is what
as
I'm
someone
wondering.
who just snored quite a bit when I was sharing a room with
No,
Chuck.
I didn't snore. You
No,
snored.
I snored. I'm
yeah.
saying
Oh.
as someone, I'm like, oh, I should probably like go for a sleep study.
it.
No job right now, and I'm on weird state insurance that I don't know what it covers. So I am gonna hold off on sleep apnea and just continue to not get quality
Ain't
sleep
that
and
fucked?
die a little
Ain't
bit.
that
Yeah.
fucked?
But like,
It is fucked.
maybe the insurance covers it. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Your copay would be
It's so funny because you're like, I can't believe that you can't get this covered, and he's like, I'm so timid, I don't even want to ask.
Yeah.
he just wants to keep
okay.
paying
Just
and then
make a
not
call.
use it.
Just make a call. Get a good night's
No,
sleep.
I'm not paying. I'm on the dole,
Yeah.
insurance wise.
Bob Dole?
Yeah,
Bob
Bob
Dole
Dole.
insurance.
Bob Dole's
He's
plan.
on the Bob Dole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It covers-
He's got that
Obamacare
pen.
is good. Dole care is not great.
It's a lot of
A
pineapples.
lot of pineapple. Oh, we got there together. But we were in
Cum tastes good, but goddamn, yeah, the copays are through the roof.
we were in Las Vegas, and it was the first night. And I remember because I had a weird thing of I have to narrate friendships and where I am in a friendship. Of
course.
And I must have been saying something like, "We're going to spend a whole week together, pal," right? Like something
Yeah.
like that. You go and take a shower,
Uh-huh.
and then you walked out holding a washcloth.
It's my thing, yeah.
In front of your bits
That's polite.
and your business, and you just walked around for a minute, and then went back in the bathroom, and like that's how we started the trip.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah.
nice. Thank
There was
you.
a lot of nudity on that trip.
There was a
Real-
lot
from
of nudity.
both sides.
But yeah, I saw
Yeah,
Ray's,
front and
Ray's
back.
balls.
Really?
Right?
Yeah.
I got a really great picture.
You've
It's
never
somewhere.
done.
I gotta find
Listen,
this picture.
was early days. We hit 40, right?
Oh.
Where
This is
these-
2010.
This
This
yeah.
was 2009.
Oh wow.
No,
Yeah.
it was like 2010 or 2011.
2011.
So you might have been in your
2010.
20s at that time.
I
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
baby.
I saw his body minus the area that the washcloth was covering up. The washcloth
Yeah.
was covering his dignity.
So he
right?
saw.
You looking at your penis, Chuck?
I got a bit long message on my watch. Very long. It's very upsetting.
And you were like, I should probably read it.
I should compare
Yeah,
it to
let
my
me get into it now.
Actually, it's seriously the reason it said is because it said Ray Harrington is a permanent, and then I didn't know. I wanted to see what
Ooh,
it said.
A permanent
Wow.
That's an interesting
Citizen.
Fixture in
That's
my
an interesting
life.
adjective.
Yeah,
a lot of
permanent's
things could-
like what's
Yeah,
going on here?
exactly. So it's
We'll
like-
find out later, I guess.
Right.
But no, so I saw his body minus the dignity cloth.
Right.
And I was doing.
I like a dignity claw.
I was in my 20s. I was doing
A chastity
I sat in
cloth.
gum.
All right. Ray sat in gum.
You know the I sat in gum thing? No.
Well, this is something I wanted to talk about in the podcast. Actually,
I don't.
here we are.
Keep going. Keep going. Tell them
What a
sitting-
coinky dink.
Tell me about sitting
I
in
get
gum.
the sense there's not chewed gum at the end of this.
There's
Maybe
not.
if you play
Yeah,
your cards
go
right.
ahead.
So what you do is you have shorts on,
Right,
Right.
right.
And I did this for I think the whole trip,
Right.
Like
Yeah,
truly the whole
yeah,
trip.
this
By the
was
time
your-
like
this was your
we
thing.
did Vegas, we did the World Series of Comedy. We ended up in L.A. I think I was doing it in the hallway at the hotel in L.A.
Yeah.
So you're wearing
LA.
shorts. It's hot.
Top.
You know, there's some droopage happening.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Expansion.
so, sure,
Fluffiness.
Fluffiness.
It's a little
What?
fluffed.
Are you talking about
Your
because of
ball- your
humidity
balls
with your
puff up in the
he's-
heat?
No,
Yeah,
he
they
has
do.
He has
Like a
a thicket.
blowfish?
He's got a big old bush.
Well, it's only when I'm threatened.
He squirts ink. It's
Christ.
terrifying. So, sitting in
The
gum,
spitters from Jurassic Park.
sitting in
It is
gum
going to spit. Yeah.
is,
Sitting in gum.
If you're sitting down,
Right.
You got the shorts on,
Right.
Right. What you do is
Oh,
you
I
take
No,
I'm
you guys
guessing.
understand. Keep going.
Oh boy.
you take some loose skin,
Right? Yeah.
right?
The loosest.
Pull
you
it
have.
through the bottom of the shorts, and
Mm-hmm.
go. Oh, I sat in gum, and you hold it out. and then everybody goes, huh? Oh,
that's
like
great.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
Ray
So-
pulled out his ball sack a bunch. Ben
Yep.
Haig tucked his balls between his legs and hopped around like a kangaroo.
Okay, here we
Yep.
go.
All right, more my speed.
This is what I was thinking about, and I wanted to talk to you guys. I'm glad Brian is here because I think we're gonna have someone in my corner. I think a lot of different, movies, TV shows, different people have. How about this? Dane Cook, remember Sufi? It's one of these. I don't know which
Yeah.
one it is.
Yeah.
Everyone had all these different things, they come up with different, unique ways to greet each other, or like, oh, I know this. You know what I mean? They have different things. There's something from my childhood that we all used to do. I've never seen it popularized by any group of people, anybody. So I think we should make it the Funbearable thing.
I'm going to reserve judgment.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm
don't-
going to
if-
go ahead
don't-
and pass it now.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I'm on Chuck's
pessimistic.
side. I like a nice secret handshake.
Oh,
and shit
So
like that.
Brad, you're gonna know this word, but don't give anything away.
Of
Poker
course
face.
not.
Poker
All right.
face.
All right, hang on.
All right. There's a thing we used to do called the Fruit Bowl, and I think we should make the Funbearable Fruit Bowl. Here's what the Fruit Bowl is. You ready?
I don't want it.
Can I guess?
You bend over a little bit,
All right, I
or a
like-
good amount.
Yo, I like where this is going, Chuck.
You tuck your balls back between your leg and your dick so that it's facing the opposite way, and then you move someone. So if it was on a table, it would look like a bowl of fruit.
Yeah.
And so that's how we'll know if you're a Funbearable listener. If we see you in public, give Ray the Funbearable Fruit Bowl. If you see Ray walking down the street with his family in Maine, give him the Funbearable Fruit Bowl.
I would love to be with Ray somewhere at a show. So he's like, I listen to the podcast. Shroom, bang. And I'm like, it's the fucking fruit bowl. Ray, it's a fan.
The Funbearable Fruit Bowl. And so this
I
is
like the
how-
idea that I get so desensitized to it that like someone's doing it and Brian's like, "What the fuck is going on?" I'm like, they listen to the podcast.
That's what they do.
So here's
Thanks.
So I
Right?
think-
I say thank you to everybody. That
You know what?
If you guys lined up and did it, it would be a cornucopia.
Yeah, see, this is great. So people, you can surprise someone with it and be like, "Hey," and Fun Bear, you say Fun Bear and you push it, and then maybe I was thinking we could sell these. You ready for this? So maybe like you're a big Funbearable listener, you're a big Fun Bear, and you want to do it like often to greet other Fun Bears out in public. We can make a thing where it's like a string that goes down your shirt. It'll come out here, right? It goes down your shirt. And it goes down your back, and it's around your balls and your dick, so you can really quickly bend over and you pull it, and it pulls your dick and
just
your balls
pulls it
out
the
from
shirt
behind, and you
through?
can greet them that way.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
What about our lovely listeners without male genitalia?
Yeah.
that's-
It seems like we're
that's-
one-sided.
That's a little crude.
They're going to have
Ray.
to show their booyah.
Ray, that's a little crude. I don't want to go there.
Okay. Sorry, I had the same question as Ray. I'm
It's
sorry.
not sexual.
Sorry.
This is more of a friendly thing.
Okay.
All right. Well, it just
This
seems like
isn't
we
a
should have
romantic
friends.
thing, Ray.
I'm just saying, what about you? You have
They
to
can
have-
just say hi, Ray.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Yeah.
So dumb.
They can flash.
I was like, I want to live in the joke choice that you made, but the choice
I'll be
didn't
honest.
work. We all felt it bomb.
Mine was a joke.
I'm not gonna lie. As Ray's friend, I would much rather prefer somebody show him a vagina than balls and a penis. I think that would make you infinitely more uncomfortable. Is if a woman came up,
Oh yeah.
tucked her pussy behind her legs and booyah.
That's
Sure,
It's
yeah,
more
yeah, yeah.
uncomfortable
Than a
for
penis.
sure.
Like a
Yeah.
penis and a dick, you just like, oh, this is a drunk dude having fun.
Yeah.
But a woman
Lots
does
of
that
fun.
to you, you won't know what to fucking do. It would be great. You,
Well,
would be-
I will walk away quickly.
you just walk away.
Yes.
You'll shuffle.
Yeah.
So I will say
I'll mutter and putter.
So we did talk about Funbearable. We're going to take votes on everything, and we always said guests' votes counts twice because they're guests.
All right.
so
to
we
to
should
be
be
fair,
we
when
should
we
be good
voted,
hosts.
when we voted on that, Ray and I won 2-1.
Yeah.
So that did not happen. Yeah.
I believe
We voted in a policy where we have a conservatorship over you, just to kind of stymie any of these situations.
Well,
But listen, I love it. I'm glad
Right?
that you and your friends did it.
You love it.
and I think it's good and quality and good.
and if you're a fun bear and you want to greet us in public,
No.
Ray, Brad,
Please don't.
myself, Brian, even
just a polite wave will be fine.
just a push and a little bit of a tuck and a hey. If
Please
Funbear.
don't.
And then you just say hey and you turn and Brad will laugh and Ray will laugh.
I
and I'll
probably
laugh.
won't. Yeah.
We'll all laugh.
No.
And so
Just Chuck will laugh.
We did this when we were kids all the time to each other as a joke. And one time, me and my cousin Christian did it together, and someone took a Polaroid. And
Look at that photograph.
What was it that gym teacher you mentioned earlier?
Makes me laugh.
and someone
That's next to the trophy.
Hey, you know
case.
what's fun, guys? It's called a fruit bowl.
We used to do this in my fraternity at college. Are you guys? You guys are mature like college boys, aren't you?
Cool
The gym
college
teacher's like,
boys.
this is our 1992 volleyball trophy, and there's a picture of a couple kids showing me their fruit basket.
we were underage, we're 17, tucked it in the visor of my friend's convertible just to keep it for good.
The Polaroid,
Yeah, the Polaroid.
not your
Not
bits.
to-
I thought you were
No.
talking about your balls.
No,
The top.
And his mom like went through all the pictures in his thing, and she found it. And
Tucked it in
she's
her
cool.
purse.
She's
Yeah.
cool, but it was a really gross picture.
Yeah.
It was really gross.
Oh, that's surprising. That
You mean it wasn't tasteful?
yeah.
It wasn't a tasteful.
this.
What
Is this
did
a
she
Thomas
do when she
Kincaid
found
painting?
that picture? How did she confront you with that?
His mom is really kooky, and so she's like,
Is she altogether
you,
spooky?
you fucking. She's like, you fucking kids. Ah, ah, ah." She laughs like a witch. You know, she's great. I love her, but she laughs like a real witch.
Now, if you were to flip it, right, and let's say
She showed it?
dad found pictures of 17-year-old naked girls
Oh, that's a lot.
and had
different.
the same reaction. Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that? There's no one likes a testicle.
Yeah, it's okay for a woman to be a pedophile.
I was
swear
gonna
to
say.
God.
Well, we actually have video of his dad tucking his dick back in between his legs by accident.
By accident.
Yeah.
You accidentally took your dick.
Did you get the
Wait
video
a
by
minute, the
accident?
video by accident?
Or was
Yeah,
the
was it
tucking
tuck?
by accident?
We had a lot of fun when I was a kid, and
I think Chuck's gay.
no,
No think about it.
So when I was a kid, we used to film a lot of fun stuff for the band, right? We used to make a lot of fun videos for my band, Senior Discount, and put them online. We did crazy jackass kind of stuff.
The kind of videos it sounds like where if there's a hard knock at the door, Chuck is running with a large magnet to his hard drive.
Yes.
That's funny. Hard knock at the door is good. You should. That's very funny. But so one of the things we did a scavenger hunt where there was a lot of tasks you had to do, and one of them was that you had to hit someone in the genitals with a snowball. And so I think that we had his dad bend over and hit his testicles with a snowball. So we did have a lot of testicles going back and forth.
Yeah, so.
Is that what you asked?
No, I didn't ask anything.
No, we were talking. No, we were talking about Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, that's where we were at the
Kindergarten
beginning of this. But speaking of childhoods,
Yes.
I want to try and transition here.
So no fruit bowl. You don't like it at all.
No.
No, I thought we were done with that.
I thought we were gonna take a vote. Brian has to vote.
Oh, sure. Let's.
Okay,
I get
we'll
two
do
of
the-
them?
Don't do it.
You get 2 votes. Yeah.
I'll split them. I want to support everybody. I want to support everybody.
So that's 3-2. No fruit bowl.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. We didn't take.
I don't know. Chuck makes a pretty persuasive argument
Yeah.
for strangers displaying their genitals to me.
Wouldn't it be fun and cool?
What about how about this? What if only if you see us in a bathroom? How about that? That way
No.
it's private.
No.
It's not public.
Wait, would you rather have somebody show you their genitals in a bathroom as a fruit basket, or
both.
take a piss and then shake your hand before they wash their hands?
Oh,
Right,
no,
right,
the,
right.
the show. I'd rather have the show.
You'd rather have somebody show.
I would rather have someone do the fruit bowl in public than in a bathroom in private. It's weirder there to
Well,
me.
your penis is already out. You're halfway done.
But it's weirder.
Yeah,
Don't you think
it's
it's
a weird
weirder to be in a
presentation.
private space where that happens versus a public space? Doesn't it feel more nefarious?
I don't want him around at all.
So you think it's the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I see Ray's point of like, yeah, it feels dirtier.
Doesn't it? It feels like
Yeah.
there's a different intent there. How about this? Let's make it even worse. What if they go, "Can you just come with me for a second?"
Yeah.
Ooh, so
I'm
curious.
shy. I don't want to do
All right.
it out
Well,
in
let's
public.
split the difference. Just do it in a corner.
How about this?
Just
We'll
take a
split-
picture of it and show them the picture on your phone.
I was going to say,
Please don't.
we'll triple split the difference, right?
Triples.
If you want to do it, you do it in private.
Yes, please.
Then come over and go, by the way, I did the fruit bowl. And then that's it. That's all. And then we can.
tell us.
you just I did the fruit bowl.
That's fair. That's how we're going to do it for the first year. And then after that,
we'll see.
We'll
We'll see.
evolve.
We'll revisit.
All right.
We'll
We can
revisit.
agree on for the first year, give us a fruit bowl, but you can only tell us about it. You can't show it.
Correct.
Oh,
Deal.
We're all in on the
We'll
fruit
also
bowl.
allow sketches.
No,
You're-
I'm just kidding. We're fine with sketches,
Wow,
but
we-
like
we
high
voted in the
quality.
What is
Fruit
this?
bowl.
Mickey Mouse with
I want
ears
to
really
give one of
close
my
together?
votes back to Chuck if the picture thing is in play 100%.
Wow.
Yeah,
We
that's-
voted in the
that's great.
Funbearable Fruit Bowl. That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm down for that. I'm glad to be a part of this.
Thank you, Ray and Brad.
And Brian,
Brian.
Brian's
Brian
going
was
crazy.
Brian
I
the
knew it
most.
was
I was a
it.
driving
Brian.
force.
Yeah,
I was a
exactly.
driving
Yeah,
force
we're
of
good.
this.
This is good.
No
But,
one would be eating without
Yeah,
me.
back to childhood.
Yeah, let's go back to the childhood thing. You were saying before we started recording, and I am fascinated in this idea because you gave us a little teaser, and
Yeah.
then I was like, no, on the podcast.
Yes, you did.
Please explain to me a little bit of, and then we have a wonderful story of the last time we were all together, the four of us.
No, it's fucking ridiculous.
Boy, howdy, is it a fun time.
Yep.
But right now, I would like to hear more about this. I'm going to say this, and it sounds like a bad villain in a comic book. Glass collector?
Yeah, I get it. Well, Chuck has been collecting
Rattle, rattle. Who's that?
We'll
Clang,
get into
click,
that.
click,
Yeah,
clang.
we'll get into
vinyl,
this.
Yeah.
and so we were, we were out and about,
What kind of vinyl?
like full body
That's what I was
suits,
gonna say, right?
PVC,
That's what you're
there's a
Did you
zipper
see the
across
Missy Elliott video? I Can't Stand the Rain.
Yeah.
That song. That's basically that.
Yeah.
I thought it was somewhere between that and Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman
That's
suit.
that's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to get to.
Yes.
So much talc. A lot of talc to get into it, right?
A lot of walking.
A lot of talc.
Yeah, right.
The Missy Elliott costume was actually Rosie O'Donnell's wardrobe from Exit to Eden.
Oh man, Exit to Eden! What a confusing
There's a-
erection
there's
I
a-
had when I was a kid watching that.
there's a
Just in
Funbearable
puberty,
fact.
watching Exit to Eden, going, I have feelings, but then Dan Aykroyd and Rosie O'Donnell are on screen, being like, "I guess I'll whip your butt," right? And it's like, I don't know which one I was just doing an impression of. But yeah, what a confusing movie for a puberty boy
Yeah,
to
it's
watch,
great.
right? Oh, look, there's boobs and sex in this, but
Chuck
also
and Corn to Vankman and fucking Rosie O'Donnell.
what a weird experience. I'm sorry. I just had a
No, it's all
flashback.
right. Glass collector. I have a friend who,
glass collector.
as a hobby, he will go out and dig and find old glass bottles. And there's a subculture of people that collects these things, and he has sold individual bottles for like $900
Okay.
because of the historical value of whatever glass bottle he finds. And he'll just go out and dig.
Yeah.
And
This is my question.
Yes.
Metal objects.
Yep.
You use what is called a metal detector.
He does some
In
of
order
that.
to
He
detect
found
metal.
a like a pilgrim shoe buckle the other day with
Well,
his metal detector.
La-dee-da.
This ain't about buckles, Brad.
But
They
on-
didn't
on-
wear buckles.
It's about that
on-
glass.
on
They
the whole-
didn't wear buckles.
It's a pilgrim era belt buckle. An old
Look
an
at you
old
backpedaling
buckle.
so hard.
Oh, is
This
it the
guy,
hat? Is it the hat buckle or the shoe buckle?
Brad, is this friend
you.
you?
They were a lot of buckles back then. They were hat, waist, and two shoes. That's four fucking buckles.
I seriously could spend an hour talking about the pilgrim hat buckle. I'm so
Yeah.
interested in that.
It
whole thing.
didn't exist. It's apocryphal. They didn't have buckles.
No buckle hat?
No buckle hat.
Is that true?
They were buckleless.
Where are you getting that from?
History.
They didn't want to adorn themselves. They were very plain persons because they were like
they would find that as fancy.
Yeah, the glory goes to God, not to the buckle on my hat.
I like how Chuck's like, no, that's not true, and he's thinking clearly in his mind of a cartoon, and he's just like, there was a first Thanksgiving. They did invite a turkey. The turkey did grace.
The turkey had a musket.
The turkey said grace.
The turkey had a hat, and the turkey's hat had a buckle on it.
I swear.
It's true,
The
man.
turkey's name was Buckle.
He just sent me this on his face. This is my friend. He goes like this. He goes, it's true, man.
It's fucking true. The internet look at Brad. The internet said no, and that fucking bums me out. This is the same feeling I get when I find out that some American actor really has an English accent. It fucking pisses me off. It fucking throws me for a loop.
We were talking about
me too.
Succession the other day on the phone because Brian's watching it. I love Succession. I think it's peak TV. I love it. And I just in passing mentioned that the actor that plays Tom Wamsgams is British. And he has a British accent. And Brian got so mad on the phone and he goes, "We lost another one."
I agree with that.
It's so
I felt the same way about Tom Holland when I found out.
Yeah.
Did you
Oh,
not
no,
know
did
about
you not
Tom
know?
Holland?
Spider-Man.
I knew, but I forgot. It hit me again, Chuck. Is what just happened. I swear to God. I knew it, and then for a second, it came back to me that he was real, and then you fucking took him away.
He's real.
I know.
Spider-Man's not British.
Spider-Man's fake ass British.
You know what's so funny? Now that I think about it, you know how everyone gets shitty about the Black Little Mermaid?
Whoa.
I don't
whoa.
understand
No,
that. I don't understand that at all.
Yeah.
But I am a little protective over Spider-Man having a British accent.
Me too. Him and the fucking Garfield fella.
Yeah. How many? We have
Andrew
more British
Garfield,
Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield. Alexander Skarsgård. Accent. They all got accents.
That is upsetting.
It's so sad.
Why is it upsetting?
I'm
know.
crying right now over this.
I know. I feel the same exact way. This is very strange. Wolverine is Australian.
Yes.
What are we doing here? We got nothing.
Remember how I said earlier we might peak on the volume? And you're like, what? What are you talking about? And then the two of you are like, there are people from other places.
No, it's not that. It's that they tricked me. They tricked me.
Oh, speaking of this, I was on a boat recently.
Yeah.
Right?
And we were talking about actors. I made friends with an Australian fella, right?
Crikey.
And yeah, he was a great guy. Steve, wish him the best. And we're talking, and I said, "Oh, I just watched the movie Master and Commander on the boat because it was on their, movie watching list, right?" Yeah. And I was like, "It was a good movie, right? Master and Commander, classic. I like it. It was the first time I got to see it,
Right?
And I said, one of your boys is in this, Russell Crowe." And he looks at me, he goes, "He's fucking Kiwi, mate." And I went, "What?" And he's like, "He's from fucking New Zealand."
Really?
And I went, "No, Russell Crowe is Australian," I said to the Australian, right? And he's like, "No, mate, he's fucking Kiwi." And I looked on my phone, and Russell Crowe, the man who identifies as Australian, is actually from New Zealand. He was born in New Zealand. He lived there until he was like 7 or 8.
Wow.
And then moved to Australia. Isn't
Crikey.
that great? Look at your face. You just beautiful minded for a second. You're like,
Well, hold on.
it broke your brain.
I mean, that's the right movie to do.
Hugh Jackman,
Yeah,
Australian
Yes.
or Kiwi?
Australian.
Okay.
Aussie.
And then I was like, Mel Gibson, right? And I said that to Steve the Australian,
Yeah.
and he went, "No, mate." And I went, "What? What?
I think they just disowned him.
No. He was born in the U.S.
Mel Gibson.
for the first like couple years, and then moved to Australia.
Well, Australia
They're all
can fucking
fucking
have it.
liars.
Wow.
They're all liars. Not all Australian people are liars. I mean, just the people that
Most of Australia's criminals, right? That's what you said?
No,
And bugs
No, in
and
history.
lizards.
In history.
Today's
it was
history.
a
Lot of
prison
snakes,
colony.
lot of
It was
snakes
a
down
prison colony, and that's why they're aggressive. That's why they're aggressive.
That's what I thought. That's
Yes.
what I thought, right? I thought that was true. And that's why Russell
I-
Crowe loves to fight and he's so scrappy.
No,
Yeah.
listen. I will say
And Colin
it is.
Farrell.
It is a thing that
Colin
people.
Farrell's not Australian.
No, he's. What are you talking about? He's Irish.
What?
Colin Farrell.
I thought he was Australian.
I thought he just did a lot of good accents. I didn't know he was
This is
really
amazing.
fucking Irish.
He does a lot of good accents, but they're American accents.
You didn't know Colin Farrell was
I know he
Irish?
had a real accent.
We're gonna fucking find out we have
I
no
thought it
American
was a
actors
regular.
someday.
I thought he had a regular accent. He just fucking changed it up for the fucking the movies and the TikToks. I didn't think it was. I didn't think
You thought he changed it for his own TikToks? Is that what you said?
I did say TikTok because my brain doesn't work right now because I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that this guy has a fucking accent.
I wish I knew more about this because I would have absolutely made a list.
Yeah. You can
and we would have read them
Google
off.
the list.
And we would have
Wow.
seen. But yeah, so I've shaken you to your core.
Yes.
You have just been destroyed. I feel like I ruined Christmas for you.
You didn't ruin it, but it's like.
But it's not the same, and
But
it never will
it's
be.
like I opened up the big gift before all the other shit, you know.
And you found out it's from Australia.
I think it's amazing that you
has an Irish accent.
like
in
the
real
Russell
life.
Crowe thing. I thought he was from Australia. He's
Yeah.
from New Zealand. I get that. The idea that you were genuinely in 2023 assuming that Colin Farrell was American is amazing to me. I love you. I love you so much.
I love
but
you
that
too. And I
shakes
love
me.
American Colin Farrell.
Hi, I'm America's Colin Farrell.
Hoi.
Now that you say it,
I'm
makes
running for
sense.
governor.
Now that you say it, it makes a lot of sense. I always thought he was a method actor.
Yeah, he just plays all these
He just
Irish
played a
guys in
lot of
movies.
Irish
Yeah.
guys.
Oh my God, that
beautiful.
is wonderful. That is truly wonderful.
I will say it really is kind of bothersome that there are three well-known Spider-Men, that they shared this great movie together recently,
Yeah.
and that two of the three are British.
Yeah.
That is
I
weird.
will say I agree with the idea of like when I see an actor that maybe is coming up, right, or I'm being introduced to them for the first time for a thing.
Anna de Armas in Knives Out is a good example.
Sure,
She's
yeah,
awesome.
and you know, really liking an actor, and then suddenly hearing that they have an accent, it is jarring. It is
Right.
like, whoa, where did that come from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to think of some that's been the case. I know
well, I
a
have a-
lot of people.
The
Benedict
sheriff from
Cumberbatch
fucking
threw them.
Walking Dead threw me for a loop.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
That guy.
I will say, I mean, a good way to really kind of think about it is like you watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and then you see Matthew Broderick after that, and you're like, oh, he represents the same guy. But
Yeah.
then you see Spider-Man, and you see Tom Holland on a talk show, and he's British, and you're like, it feels more fake after that. Doesn't it feel like you're like, oh, more?
Yeah, it's harder
There's
to.
more of
It's
a
harder.
distance.
Yeah, because now they're you know, it's part of the act, and some of the
Yeah.
shine is gone. You know what I mean?
You want to believe Michael J. Fox basically is Marty McFly, and when
He is.
I think of him as Doc
Well,
Hollywood.
if you saw Back to the Future, and he's like,
I think of him as
was
the
in my
guy
head
from
too.
Frighteners.
well, if you think of
Life with Mikey.
you think of him, and he's like Doc, and he's doing all that stuff. If fucking Michael J. Fox after that was like, and so then Christopher Lloyd and I were like, and you'd be like, what is happening? Right? Think about that.
Yeah.
It's
It was
much
so
more
bright.
distance.
We had 3 DeLoreans on set.
It's
and
actually pretty interesting.
and-
oh, now he's Cockney.
Now he's very
Yes.
Cockney.
We actually do Warriors. We use one in Batman's parents.
Hey,
Oh, that's
Michael.
that's
Caine.
less
Michael
Cockney and more
Warrior
head
Heart.
injury
I did say,
DeLorean.
I said Batman's parents. At the
He's
end.
from the head injury region of.
hey, Michael, could you do that do that line again about 88 miles per hour, but just do it in your normal accent.
Right, okay, 88 kilometers an hour. Oh my God! Let's see if these bastards could do 90.
I'm not gonna fuck me, mom. Fuck off.
All right, now
Fuck off. You're my fucking mom. I ain't gonna fuck you. You gonna fuck yourself, mom.
all right, we're gonna go back to the American accent.
That's why they got rid of
Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, Eric Stoltz was in there, and he had a South African accent, and it was throwing everybody off.
Yep.
I can't snog her. She's pissed drunk. God damn it.
Was that Sean Connery?
That was Michael J.
Sean
Fox.
Connery as Marty McFly is suddenly amazing, right? Right?
Gotta
It's
get
like
up to
kissing my
88.
sister, or whatever it is.
For some reason, it feels like kissing my sister.
This is a throwback, right? Yeah. Your kids are gonna love it. All right, guys, this is a blues riff in BE. Watch me for the changes and
hold on.
try to keep up.
This is your cousin, Marvin Berry.
Now everybody's Sean Connery. Everybody.
It's a very talented actor.
You get your damn hands off her.
See, I could hear Sean Connery saying that.
Yeah. I really like
And
this
then
idea.
he would put his hands all over.
Yeah. Oh, he certainly would.
And what are you looking at, butthead?
Ooh la la.
Ooh, barge don't work on water.
That was Bane.
Hoverboard.
Money. For you need power for that.
By the way, the character you're doing is the Asian sidekick of Biff in Back to the Future.
Played by Bane. Played by Bane.
I had a lot of fun with this. We have devolved to a point where we are just all four of us like, oh,
Mario as Mighty McFly.
We're so close to Sandler. We're getting to Sandler.
You made the DeLorean? You made a time machine out of a DeLorean?
I can't do it. I'm sorry.
And it's Doc.
You're going to see some serious shit.
I got all right. We apologize for the last 5 minutes. I think that's key. Glass collecting.
Glass collecting. The
Oh yeah, this episode is so many tangents colliding with each other. We are on 4 different podcasts
Yes.
right
Yeah,
now. That's what's happening.
yeah.
mine.
It's hot
had
in here.
No
I'm sweating.
shampoo.
I feel like this is some sort of sociological experiment.
Makeup?
No, I'm all set. It says infallible. That seems like faulty advertising.
Oh, yeah?
It's written.
You really have makeup?
It's in Chuck's handwriting.
Yeah.
It's good. I'll get you some.
He.
I have a problem with pimples on my forehead. They come out especially when I start sweating in the summer. The first couple
I
weeks.
can see 'em now.
Yeah, I know. I covered them, but they
You wanna
suck.
freshen up.
It's very
Yeah,
sad.
Brad, glass collecting.
Yeah, glass collecting. So there's this subculture. There's this world of glass collecting that I know nothing about. But he is. But and it's not a common hobby. But he loves it. And Chuck and I were at one of these antique stores, and there's like shelves set up.
Pause.
Yes.
Can we go back to that sentence that you just said?
Sure.
Chuck and I were at one of these antique stores.
By the way,
What's happening?
real quick side thing. That's a great shirt. It looks great on you.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah, it does look good on
You
you.
look great in that shirt.
Thank you.
You don't usually wear shirts like that.
What do you mean?
I don't know. You just look great.
I normally have my buttoned up, but
Wow,
because it's
that's
so
good.
hot in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's opened up. It's
Yeah.
rolled up. You look like a
Casual.
cool guy.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'd
I feel
kiss
like
you
if
right on the
if
mouth.
I took a picture of
you.
you right now and put it on Tinder, 1,000 matches.
Well, I mean, unlikely, but thank you.
I think so.
So the two of you went to an antique store.
Yeah.
I interrupted you to compliment his shirt, by the way. Just realized that.
Yeah.
Chuck was looking for vinyl.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And,
For his suit.
And
Well,
Chuck
we
looks for knickknacks and paddywhacks.
Yeah. He does give a dog a bone.
That's a good.
And
was good,
I
man.
don't love going antiquing with Chuck.
Right. Because he's always whacking his patty.
Well, yeah. I mean, you find some good vinyl, you're gonna
thing
whack
is-
a patty
Yeah.
to it. You know?
We go to so many places where people listen to the podcast, so it's just fruit bowl.
You know what's wild though? Don't you think patty whack is like racist?
Is it?
to Irish people?
I think
Might have been at some
Patty
point.
Wagon is.
It's what the
a
Italians.
patty wagon is racist.
It's what the
yeah.
Italian mafia used to do to the fucking Irish mafia.
Yeah, it sucks.
Called it a patty whack.
Patty Whack.
I don't know.
This podcast
Anyway,
is all over the
my
place.
glass collecting friend had
Yeah.
like a little like a shelf, and he sells his glass through there, and he had his little business card, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is oddly neat to see my friend's name in the wild like this. So I texted
yeah,
him,
yeah.
and I was like, like this is crazy, and he's like, yeah, that store's been really good to me, and I'm like, so you. Because they'll do bottle shows, like, once every quarter or whatever.
I mean, how
Just
often can you do a bottle?
Antique,
I know.
antique
I'm
bottle.
too
Like,
sore after like 2 or 3.
these glass collectors get together and they buy and sell. And,
Hold on,
Yep.
it just hit. Bro.
Yeah. I was trying to move past it.
Ray's like, can we switch to ping pong balls for the third one? He has the ice packs.
Yeah, all over me.
And it was just cool to see, and like jarring to see my friend's name in the wild like that. Also,
No pun intended.
No, I was going to say, damn.
it's bottles, not jars, Ray.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
man.
Get your shit
level
straight.
of like condescension that was in your. It's bottles, not
not
jars.
jars.
That's the opened up shirt right there coming out. That's Brad puffing his fucking chest at you. They're jaws. They're bottles, not jaws. That's how you do it. Fucking.
They're gonna pay for it.
Pretty soon. Oh shit! If anybody needs to get a hold of fucking a manager, have Brad do it today. He's gonna get that bitch fired.
We unbutton his shirt real quick.
Man, Brad's gonna take down Amazon today.
Listen here, Bezos.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes, of course.
When does a wide mouth bottle become a narrow mouth jar?
Has to do with how it's sealed, I presume. I don't know.
You know what? That's a good philosophy question.
Yeah.
It's my new
I
self-help
bet you his
book.
friend would have a
Don't
real
be a
fucking
don't be
answer
a
for
wide
that.
He
mouth
probably
bottle.
does.
Be a narrow mouth jar.
No, and yeah, so it was cool and fun to see it out there.
I'm sorry. I picture your friend like at one of his meetups,
Yeah.
and there's one guy there that always brings like, look what I found. And they're like, oh, he always brings jars. Look, I found another bottle.
If you want a real peek into this subculture, you actually know someone fairly well who's really deep into this. I don't want to say you know him really well, but our buddy Get 'em, Steve Dave. Before he had a job with Walt and Tell 'em Steve Dave and the Secret Stash,
Yeah.
he would just wander the bottle dump. That's like his thing.
Yeah.
Was wandering the bottle dump all day looking for antique bottles in the dirt.
All right.
I don't even think he sold them. I think he just collected them. Some
Yeah.
people like old glass.
Like I picture Brad's friend sitting in a room with nothing but bottles around him, just like wooden, like a wooden display case with bottles in them, like trophies, and every square has a bottle in it, and they're just all around him. And then he gets the text from Brad about his card being out in the wild, and he reads it under all of his fucking bottles.
And you know what? I don't want to throw stones
and he
in
turns on the
this glass
TV.
house.
That one works.
Thank you very much.
Well, I was going to say, he turns on the TV. They're like, for the first time today, an earthquake is hitting Rhode Island.
So many dead birds outside.
But he,
Just smashing it.
Yes.
he does sell them, you said.
He does sell them
Yeah.
and makes money, and he's like a genuinely good person.
Okay.
But it's still this subculture that I know nothing about. And
Yeah.
it's like kind of knowing the existence of this subculture is like, oh, there's a lot that I don't know about. Like if my world is comedy and games and pop culture and things like that, like there's a lot of people who don't give a hoot about this stuff, and they give a hoot about their thing. And it's just
Well, giving a hoot is interesting.
Yeah.
And I think we should talk about it for a different episode because we have a really meaty thing we're going to get into. But I love the idea of thinking about the worlds of like the other subcultures and someone being like, I'm a fucking antique bottle collector.
Yeah.
And I get it. I totally get it. I like it.
he's a good dude.
I will say, you know what I have in my house that I kind of like, and I wonder if this is similar. I don't know
old
if you've ever
bottle?
noticed this. In my house, you know how you have like cabinets and they go up, but then there's like maybe like 18 inches to the ceiling above that?
Yeah. The cabinet gap.
The cabinet gap, the cab gap. I like to put super old, like antique tins up there of like famous like foods, like Fig Newtons or like pastas or like different like
That's a good
brands.
usage of that.
I like that. I mean, it kind of makes a kitchen feeling thing.
Yeah.
But how similar is that to antique bottles? It's kind of similar,
right.
Sure. Yeah.
I love.
Yeah, but are you part of a group on Facebook to post tins and talk about your tin that you found today?
I wish I was.
Then you're not
won't let
that
me
deep,
in.
motherfucker. You just like shit.
I keep getting banned.
Motherfucker, you ain't a collector. You just like shit.
That motherfucker knows the difference between a red bottle and a green bottle and a
I
buoy
know.
bottle.
It's the
That
color.
I got
motherfucker
nothing.
knows. He's on Facebook with this shit.
I know. I'm buying antique tins, and you turn it over and it says copyright 2023, and someone just sold it to me for $100
Yeah,
at
and
an
you're like,
antique
look
store.
at this fucking, look at this original Cocoa Pebbles tin I got.
Yes.
You've been had, motherfucker, because you're dumb. You stupid tin collector.
Chuck keeps getting kicked out of Facebook tin groups for posting pictures of the fruit bowl.
Yeah. That's where I was too. That's where I was.
Ooh, I
too.
could
That's
be.
when you wrap aluminum foils on your cock.
Ooh, well, here's what I was gonna say. I could, if I did want to sell tins, the Tin Man. That's pretty cool, and I could wear the little thing sideways. You know what I mean? He has the thing.
The funnel.
Yeah. And then I could do the tin fruit bowl. And then you'll know that I'm selling tins that day, and I'm not just Chuck the podcaster. What do you think? Did
I
that
never
help?
think of you as just a podcaster.
Oh wow, thank you.
I think of you with a lot of qualifiers in front of
Yeah.
podcaster.
His gym teacher
fruit
looked at him when he was
salad
young.
man. Yeah.
The Tin Man.
Yeah. You can have it. It's fine. I like how you're just like, you're really trying to sell it. Hold on. When you get up and turn around, I'm half expecting it says Tin Man on the back of your jacket. You're like, I'm going to start it today. I'm going to start it today. I decided I'm going to be the
Chuck
Tin
Staten,
Man.
comedian, podcast.
You piece of shit. He does that on purpose. I know he does.
Everything
Chuck
rolls
Staten,
off to Tin
podcast,
Man.
comedian, Tin
Like
Man,
oil on my back.
and Peepa Survivor.
I just do that as like a. As
You're
like
doing
my
it
thing.
wrong. You pull this finger like that.
Like right there.
'Cause I've never seen somebody point to their head and go.
I think that's how
I
you
know it's
apply
the oil thing, and you did a good sound for the oil can from Wizard of Oz. But anytime you see somebody go, like, it's usually right.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like that.
I think of Chuck on this podcast as more of a scarecrow than a Tin Man. On this podcast.
Yeah. Which one
Yes.
was most likely to be a sexual predator
The
in a
lion?
fun way?
I think you're right. I'm the Scarecrow,
You think Scarecrow?
and he's the Tin Man.
Yeah.
So that would make me the Cowardly Lion.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of.
You
There's a
know,
lot of different aspects of
you know,
both.
I'm normally the
Toto.
You're Toto.
You're
for sure.
Toto. Look at that beard. You're
Yeah.
Toto.
Frank is Toto.
I'm normally the Cowardly Lion, but because I unbuttoned the shirt today.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
You need
fair.
it. You
I
need a
just
heart
found
though.
it.
You're robotic.
Yes.
That
Yes.
is, yeah.
That's why I said Tin Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know. I guess I'm Cowardly Lion by
What
definition.
does he
It's
need?
just
What does he need? Heart, brain.
Courage.
Courage.
That's weird. I always thought that
I'm
was
fine.
weird.
Yeah.
They need
Oh, it is funny, like the idea of Lewis
heart.
Carroll sitting down and being like,
L. Frank Baum.
Heart.
"What's that?"
L. Frank Baum.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
Lewis Carroll did.
He's doing.
Alice.
He's correcting
Yeah.
you real quick.
Alice in
today.
Wonderland.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Well,
That was fun.
Yeah.
It just happened the one time. And you're like,
No,
oh,
he did
hell
the jar.
yeah.
The jar thing. You just
I'm
did it.
half
He
hard.
just did it.
The jar
you
thing
stopped
was a joke.
Yeah, we were doing
Yeah.
goofs. It's all right. You're fine.
No, it's
Everything's
okay.
fine. Your erection went down so quickly. But no, it is funny, the idea of him
Put some
writing
oil
that
on it.
and being like, okay, this one needs a brain.
Yep.
This one needs a heart.
I always thought
what
this.
what body part will the third one need?
I always thought this.
It's 2023.
Courage.
It's probably a penis or a vagina.
Ever since I was. Ever since
Did you just say
2023?
2021?
No, I said now that it's 2023, it's probably a penis or a vagina.
Yeah, but it is funny to go brain, heart.
I always thought
Courage.
this. I was always like, that doesn't line up though.
Yeah,
Does Dorothy need anything?
She needs to
She
go
needs
home.
to get the fuck home. She needs to,
she needs to appreciate where she comes from. That's the problem.
Yeah.
She was uppity.
I
and
see.
she needed to be humiliated and to have a little bit of humility put into her. And now she can go home and go, wow, I recognize now that things aren't so bad on this little farm.
Well,
and I appreciate the people around me.
She murdered 2 people, and that has a way of changing you.
I do, yeah. If
I
you
mean,
think
one,
about it, there
well,
is
you know,
a
one
hand there.
witch slaughter, but
Yeah.
you know, when one clear murder.
I think
family
Dorothy...
killing spree.
Yeah.
I think Dorothy was, she snapped. She murdered the woman that took her dog.
Okay.
And in her mind, she went to a fantasy world.
Oh.
And this was her trying to get away
Okay.
from everybody. And her farm people were there and they
Right.
were like, oh, come on, we'll help you. We'll hide you.
Yeah.
Right? And in her mind, she's like, I'm in Oz and da-da-da. But meanwhile, she snapped and she just did a Dust Bowl murder.
Okay. That makes sense.
I don't want to derail this too much. What is the
There's
point?
no rail on this episode.
What is the point of
This is a bumper car episode.
is a trackless podcast? What is the point of Wizard of Oz? Is there like an overall?
Well, it depends who you ask.
Okay, I'm asking you.
All right. The book was written as a metaphor for differing, like the political movement at the time, where the lion represented William Jennings Bryan, and the ruby slippers were originally silver slippers, and it was about should the country go to a gold standard, the yellow brick road, or say with the silver standard, the silver slippers.
I hate
Did you
all
know
of
about
that.
this?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Did you?
This is new to me.
The only one I remember is
You might as
feels
well,
like everything is
you
new
might
to
as
you
well
right
throw
now.
in that every one of them little midgets had an English accent at this point.
We welcome you to cut.
Lord, let's go back to one.
Munchkinland. They're all Sean Connery.
I thought I was the leader of the Lollipop Guild.
Turns out I'm the number 3.
Excuse me. I thought I was the leader of the body.
Excuse me, my lollipop seems to be a bit smaller than the other ones.
And I
I'm
don't
the mayor of the
appreciate it.
Munchkin City.
But
Is it a town or a city?
that's as I understand, like the original.
Yeah.
And
Wow,
then,
I don't know
and-
anything about that stuff.
And then it's been, when it was adapted, they're like, oh, we want to make a big deal of the fact that we now have color film.
Right.
We don't want these silver slippers because you can put silver slippers in black and white. So we want to change them to ruby slippers.
And so did the movie kind of lose that whole political message because of that?
I think so. I mean, I haven't watched it in a long time.
I mean, it's a
If I
classic
was a
movie.
drag queen, my name would be Ruby Slippers.
Yeah.
I think
pretty
it's a
good.
good drag name.
That's a good drag.
Yeah.
very good
Ruby
drag name.
Slippers.
I think.
Mine would be
and
Tin
you-
Man.
I'd be Dorothy.
He's so stiff.
He's so stiff. I'd be Dorothy. Put your hands together, welcome Dorothy. Hey,
Daarothy.
Yeah.
Dorothy.
Dorothy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Chuck, what was your B? We figured out these two.
If I was a drag queen,
Yeah.
the tin. Let me think.
No,
Wait a minute, I'm the
he's
Tin
the Tin Man.
Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta think. I heard a great one. Oh, it's Ellen DeGenerate, which
that's
was
cute.
killer.
Yeah.
That's a great one. I did not
I
come
like
up with
that.
that. I'm not gonna try to take.
I like that.
Give me some time, and I'll think of a good
Okay,
one.
yeah. I think, given what time it is, we need to pivot to the big story.
Yes.
This week's big story. This just. I don't know.
that was
what-
like Nickelodeon. You went din 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 din. That's
Oh,
Nickelodeon.
it was the news.
I know.
Morse code.
I know.
I'm Guy Smiley. It's a Muppet.
Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Big story. What do you got?
Well, it's more just a flashback for us.
Okay.
But the last time the 4 of us were together.
Can I say I'm really glad that Brian was there for that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm
I
glad that
love
every
it.
single one of us was there for that.
Me
And
too. But Brian adds a certain
As
spice.
someone that doesn't really go to social events, to show up at this one and to see what we saw made me very happy.
Yeah. Oh,
and
it
I
was
very
worth
happy
it
to be with
in,
you guys.
in
Yeah.
spades.
for it.
Yeah.
So we're going to put a little TW right here, a little trigger warning.
Isn't that
Okay.
really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really? You got to put trigger warning?
No,
For what?
I was trying to make a fucking joke. Relax. Jesus Christ.
2023.
This guy-
I got fucking emailed from a lady that came to a show and got offended at another comic that wanted an apology from me.
What did the comic say?
The comic the comic was just doing his act on stage, and this lady jumped up on stage.
Jumped up on
This
stage.
is during a graduation show of the comedy class that I teach. She jumped up on stage, right? Disrupted the whole show. Dude handled it very well. For somebody on their stage for the first time, handled it very well. She tried to make a point. Crowd yelled at her to get off the stage. She ends up getting kicked out. Guy, as she's walking away, the comic on stage just goes, "Keep it going for the worst woman ever," right? Gets
Nice.
a big fucking pop, recovers nice, and
Yeah.
then I as I'm going to bed, I go on Facebook and I see a notification, and this lady says, "You hosted a super misogynistic show tonight. When all else fails, I guess you just make fun of women." And I'm like,
It's like, no. The person who
Like-
came on stage just happened to be a woman.
what the fuck is going on? And because I didn't even, it was on one of my podcast posts, so I didn't even know what the fuck she was talking about.
Right,
It was like a podcast that we
Right,
did,
right.
or whatever. And then I eventually, it came out that this was the same lady that jumped up on stage. She wanted an apology for me because the comic on stage, she said, was making sexual assault jokes. He wasn't. And so, people get fucking triggered really fucking easy.
Wow.
So when somebody does say, "Hey, trigger warning," and then you go, "Really?" And you go, "Yeah." It's like, yeah, in the back of my head, right now in this day and age, yeah, this could be a fucking trigger warning.
I thought you were serious too. I was like, is there a
Yeah.
part of this I'm forgetting?
No, I was just trying to make a joke because last week's episode the one that just came out,
Yeah.
there was conversation about a cat being killed, and
Oh.
and then people commented joking around, like they were like, "Whoa, I hated the cat killing part," and some of our listeners posted pictures of their cats, like they hated this part of the podcast.
Oh,
so
I
I was
didn't-
trying to make a callback
Yeah,
joke.
I didn't realize we were making
because
another
we're
cat thing.
We're doing a cat thing, so it was just a joke where I was like, "Hey, trigger warning! If your cat is listening, maybe have them step out of the room." So that 5-second joke that I was going to do was there. I am exhausted by people that freak the fuck out. Not you, because of this situation that just happened with you, but this idea of like I say that trying to make just a very simple passive joke. and the reaction of like, oh my God, it's crazy and everybody's so fucking pussy now and all that shit. It's not you and it's not you. I'm just thinking and getting annoyed by it because I think, no, it's not you. No, the people that immediately freak the fuck out at anything that's like, it's woke, you're woke, yeah, all that bullshit. They spend so much time and energy flipping out about the thing and the idea of painting it that the other people, the progressive people or woke people are trying to, they spend all their time worried about wokeness and being woke and they're too scared to offend people and blah, blah, blah. I spend zero time worrying about it. I spend zero time and effort trying to be respectful. I just am respectful of other people. And then the flip out that comes on the other side of it is like, calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
Woke doesn't mean anything anymore. Woke means nothing because people will watch a thing and if a woman is in it, they're like, this is woke. Okay. I guess we've been woke for 200 years. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, I just flipped out for a different thing.
I'll say I spend a lot of time and energy trying not to call women the C word.
Sure.
He does spend a lot of energy.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, he's always balling his fist. He's that little Arthur meme
Yeah.
of the bald fist.
Well, I remember
you
how I
know?
got that big long message earlier. I was
Yeah.
like, "Here's Brad."
Ray Harrington is a permanent C word.
Hey, I'm a temporary twat at best.
I went through a phase.
That flipped me out. I got so
totally
annoyed
get
by
it.
it.
I call it recreational outrage.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
That's what you're looking for something to be mad at. I would go on every week, especially after episode 3 of Last of Us, and just read what people wrote in the
Right.
comments
No, that
on
was-
the HBO post.
Yeah.
Like after that, when you started seeing gay characters and all this shit, and people go, "This is fucking stupid. Can't believe this fucking thing. I'm never watching again. Everybody, fucking HBO is woke." And it's like, who gives a fuck? If it was a fucking straight couple, you thought it would be a great episode, but because this dude is gay, it's a terrible fucking episode. And now HBO's woke. It's like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
You know?
it's all very interesting. I mean, we're dealing with, we were talking the other day about me and Brad were talking about the idea of the Kid Rock thing where he shot the Budweiser cans.
So stupid.
And I'm like, it's so funny because I wonder what percentage of people are actually mad on either side of this issue. Because to me, it's nobody, right? It's like a famous person, then a couple of dicks online, and then 99.9% of people are like, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
I think that's what it seems like.
Ted Nugent is only playing venues if they don't sell Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah, it's so stupid because
it's fucking
they just
insane.
want to feel like they are being persecuted.
Yes.
And they want outrage, right? Like there's this this complex within them. And the irony of the whole situation of them claiming like the wokeism and all this stuff and it's an agenda Anheuser-Busch is doing this thing. It's like it's a fucking sponsored post on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Going only to the audience of that person.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are you talking about? Do you know how many sponsored posts happen? If you're going to be this outraged for this, like I have bad news for you. You're not going to be able to drink or eat anything, right? Like,
Yeah.
and it's wild to me. The idea. Here's the irony. The term woke is usually used by a person that will also use the term. Oh God!
Snowflake.
Virtue signaling.
Okay.
Oh, you're just virtue signaling. Then what is, if that's virtue signaling, what would you call the people making videos shooting beer cans or rolling over them with a steamroller?
That's what I think
What
is.
is that?
I think
I'm
that's
pretty sure that's fucking virtue signaling.
Right, just a
think
different
it is too.
virtue.
Yeah.
That's
I
that's
hate
exactly
it.
how I feel.
I
yeah.
hate it so much. Like people that flip out, like that's why I hate woke, the term woke, because it is meaningless, because it doesn't mean anything, because because it's been used so much for so little. It no longer has meaning, right? Before we started recording, you were like, well, you're Mr. Woke about Lil Dicky
Yeah, people are
doing a track with Chris Brown.
It was because Brad and I read this article about
yeah.
how Little Dicky should be canceled because he did the Chris Brown track, and A, he's associated with him,
Yeah.
and B, there's certain lyrics in that song.
Yeah, and then like you were joking and
I was
said,
joking,
"Oh, you're
obviously.
Mr. Woke,"
Yeah.
and but it is that idea of like that hit me because I've heard it so much. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Where I am just like what? Like, yeah, my stand-up comedy, I guess you could call it woke because I'm not misogynistic on stage. I don't fucking say horrible
you wouldn't
things.
fit in on one of Brian's shows then.
But that's the thing is like we're fucking super close. You're one of my best friends in the world. We've done shows together millions of times. We are very different stand-up comedians, but both of us are coming from the same place when it comes to intent, right?
Yeah,
what we mean to do, and you know, any offense that we intend or anything like that. And it's wild to me. It's a whole conversation. This is a different thing.
Yeah.
We were going to talk about it.
We're going to talk
Cat.
about that. We have to talk about the cat.
Yeah, we gotta.
we're gonna talk
I don't want to
about
beat a
that.
dead cat, but we gotta beat this. Dead
I
cat.
agree. It's really tough because I feel like I honestly feel like in a lot of situations, I feel like I am a middleman in terms of people saying this is fucked up or this person is to this.
Mm-hmm.
Like in terms of like myself, I'm a very progressive person when it comes to humanitarian issues. Like there's not really even one that I'm not for.
Like aid to Haiti.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a humanitarian
No, but
issue.
like it's funny. I mean, you see a lot of stuff on dating apps and social media where people are
Yeah.
like pro BLM, pro abortion, pro trans rights, pro. I'm all that stuff, but I do feel like I do run across people. Like me and Brad talked about this recently about how people don't like Chris Pratt, and because they don't like him, they made up stuff that's not true to make him like it's not okay to like Chris Pratt because he's part of an anti-gay church.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
That's not even true. It's just a made up thing. And when you tell someone that, they'll say, well, then, and they don't want to accept that.
Right.
But in a lot of those issues, but let's say this. Let's say he was part of that church and the church had some anti-gay stuff. I'm not going to be like, well, I got to take a strong stance on Chris Pratt. But I do know people who are like that, and it's fucking annoying as fuck to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure,
so I
yeah.
think that there's that aspect too. But again, I'm the middle person. I'm the middle person going like, yeah, I think it's fucked up that church is anti-gay. But am I really going to be like, well, this person who I guess he's loosely associated, now we don't like him. So I do get annoyed with that side of it.
Sure, yeah.
And there is an ultra side like that for sure, for real.
Of course, yeah. I think that's
Then
there.
that-
I think it exists on the internet mostly.
That's what I was
Yeah.
saying about how 99.9% of people aren't really taking these strong stances. It doesn't exist.
What drives me crazy is often what is used as ammunition of, see, look what the extreme left believe, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it'll be some article.
Yeah.
Like the article we read when we were,
I know.
doing some work.
I wanted to
about-
bring this up at some point.
Yeah, let's not get into it
Yeah.
because we
I
already
know.
have so much to do.
I know.
But this idea of digital blackface.
Digital,
is-
have you heard of digital blackface?
No, but I feel like I did it at one point.
You're like, yeah, I probably
No, yeah.
guilty,
One
Your
time
Honor.
Snapchat had
Your
this
Honor.
filter.
Your Honor.
One time Snapchat had this filter where you could take somebody else's face and put it on your face, and I went through a whole series of O.J. Simpson snaps. And it was like,
That's not even what we're talking about, but that is digital blackface.
It is,
it's
yeah.
digital
By
blackface.
definition, yeah. Case dismissed. But
Guilty.
guilty as charged, Your Honor. This is me, pal O.J. saying I'm guilty as charged.
but the no, digital blackface is a term that they that this article was claiming for people that use GIFs. They send like GIFs through text.
Yeah.
That are like black people, like that ain't nobody got time for that,
Right.
And
Right.
stuff like that, and that's digital blackface.
You're not supposed to use that.
And I will say, I think it's a bummer to just be like, it's digital blackface. But here's my issue: it's an article, right? And we know this as a society. We understand that articles are written now just because they need to be written. They have to be generated, right? Clickbait.
Clickbait
yes.
articles taking extreme stances.
That's
is
it.
a thing I want to
That's
talk
what-
about.
Exactly.
At some point.
That's the thing
Yeah.
that is happening there. I think that's the reason that exists.
We had a huge talk about this in the car the other day for like an hour.
yeah, and
while antiquing.
Oh, there you go. Just
What a
walk
day
around.
you guys had.
Yeah.
We did have a day.
My God.
Wait,
Where'd you
was the
get lunch?
conversation an hour? What happens if you take out the kissing?
Oh, then like 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah,
me
yeah.
you went to a diner for lunch.
We didn't. We got nice coffees though.
Yeah, we did.
Where'd you get coffee from?
7 stars.
Oh my God, we went to 7 Stars Bakery.
How many
together.
stars would you
Yeah,
give
a
it?
bakery.
7.
Good. That's what I wanted. I wanted a bakery, a diner, any place old
Yeah.
people would get their fucking
What
jollies
did you get
off.
at the What'd you get at the bakery?
Cinnamon bun.
Oh, that was a good day.
it was
We
delicious.
had a great day.
Cinnamon bun would also be my drag name.
Yeah, that's a good
Hell
cinnamon
yeah.
buns.
one. Yeah, with a Z. So you can
3 Z's
yeah.
because I'm sleepy.
Oh,
Oh, I guess it's. What's that sport that you play where you're a mean girl?
You're a
Roller
mean
derby.
girl.
Roller derby.
You're a mean girl.
I'm gonna get you.
Those are all sports,
You're a
Chuck.
mean girl.
It's 2023. Basketball, Chuck.
Can I give you my name for the
Yeah.
Baby Ruthless?
the fact that you were so shy about it.
Yeah.
I'm being a baby.
Goo goo gaga.
So many nicknames for me.
They're doing the introductions. It's like, this is Cherry Bomb, and this is Ellen DeGenerate, and this is Baby Ruthless.
With the tight shorts, right?
I'm just a little baby.
I like how aggressive your drag show DJ is.
Yeah. Coming to the stage, cinnamon buns. Yeah.
She's sleepy.
Hey, everybody.
So anyway, we went to this social event.
Yes.
Social
let's-
event.
So, TW, if you're a cat, maybe step outside for the next 20 to 90 minutes.
It's that good.
Oh, yeah. Remember when we showed up? We're like, we're going to do 3 episodes. We'll see. So, yeah, we were at a social function together.
Yes.
And which is kind of rare, right? Like,
Right.
you know, I got a kid and wife. You got a kid and a girlfriend. You got people,
2 houses.
You've got 2 houses. Like, you're like, I don't like that you give me shit about having 2 houses. And that's what you go with. And Brad is
crippling depression.
He's got crippling depression
And a cat.
and a cat,
Yep.
which we're worried about.
Yeah.
So we all collectively were at this function, and we were chatting. I think you were in one pod, and we were in another pod of people. We're all just standing in the room.
Oh, yeah.
And what kind of turned into like, oh, there's like 5 or 6 people here, 5 or 6 people here, whatever. And what I think is interesting is your pod realized it at the same time as ours, because
Oh,
I
my
remember
God.
having a conversation, and I went, "Hang on a second. And I looked over somebody's shoulder.
I asked Brad first, and I kept it between us because I was like, I have to be crazy.
Yeah.
This can't be what I think it is. And I said to Brad,
you guys discovered it first.
I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
I was
and
like,
kept
this,
it on the down low.
I was like, this is not what I think it is, right? And Brad was like, it's not that.
All right. Chuck told me to tell him it wasn't a thing. So being a good friend,
Yeah.
I told him it wasn't a thing.
Yeah. And I looked over someone else's shoulder. I was
Right.
talking to another person at the parody, and I looked over their shoulder, and it was that thing in the movie. It would be you're seeing that person talking, and then the focus shifts to the back,
And their volume
goes way down, and they're just
yeah.
like, and they're talking, and then it's just shot of me with my eyes wide, going,
yeah.
And the camera pushes over their shoulder.
yeah. And
I
I'm
think
like,
there was
shut
a,
the fuck up for a
I
second.
think there was a line that triggered everybody and put us all on the same page at once.
Was the line, "Look at that cat's head"? Was it that?
That's the one. It was a little different than that. It was, yes, that was pretty much the line. But it came out like this. Is that a cat head on that shelf over there? And at that point, we were all connected, and it was like, oh my God, my suspicions just came true. I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
And the way that everybody broke down,
Oh, God.
let me know that everybody knows now.
Oh, yeah.
And then I had to be helped to a seat because I was laughing too hard.
Oh, my God.
So on this shelf, there was this little spot. There's knickknacks on the shelf. There's little tchotchkes.
Couple patty wax.
Couple patty wax. Couple of bottle/jars. We're not sure.
Unsure.
The cap was large. We
Yep.
couldn't tell. And next to that, in a corner of the shelf, there was like like a little weird bed of plastic flowers. I think.
Yeah.
Something like
That sounds right.
Some sort of base.
Some sort of so like a weird like culty kind of base, right? Where you'd like the candles for Satan to come.
It would look at home in Midsommar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that cat was in Midsommar. And then on top of the bed of flowers
Yes.
or garnish, depending on who you might be, there was the head of a cat.
A taxidermied.
It was a cat who had been a living cat.
Yes.
Was no longer a living cat.
Sadly, no.
And so the skin of the head of the cat was wrapped around some sort of apparatus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the skull was in there. The teeth were in there.
I think the skull was in there.
You think the skull was there?
I don't know.
I don't think
I've
that's how
never,
taxidermy works.
taxidermy is another subculture I know nothing about.
I think that the bones stay in taxidermy.
No,
the bones
they
do
get
not.
they get skinned. The skin is put
Yeah.
on like a mold.
It's like a foam.
We're
it's like a
ruining
foam
everything for Chuck right
Yeah,
now. This
Chuck,
is like
yeah.
this is like when my friend Brian found out that Russell
Colin
Crowe is from New Zealand.
So, Chuck, check
Yeah.
this out, right? When you see a taxidermied animal, what it is it's somebody bringing in the skin of the animal, and the taxidermied guy orders or makes a foam cutout of the animal, and they drape it over.
Can I
the
ask a question
sides.
about taxidermy that no
ahead.
one knows the answer to?
Yeah.
Why make a structure that is identical to a structure that exists already?
Because the bones of an animal
Deteriorate?
they do deteriorate. Also, like that's not the body shape of the animal. Like for you, like if
Oh,
we
yeah,
wanted
muscles.
to taxidermy you,
Right.
we can't just be like, well, we have his skeleton and his skin done, right? Like you'd have
That'd
to
be
fill
scary,
it with
right?
stuff, and it would
That
be,
would be. That would really.
it would make less sense for them to like remove all of the tissue
I see.
from the
I
from the
see.
skeleton
Yeah. So in other
and
words-
then put clay on it or
In
something.
other words, they'd have to fill the skin
Yeah.
with something.
Man,
and
I am-
it's easier just to make a whole shape.
I'm the
Correct.
idea of Guillermo
Guillermo del Toro.
I can't do it.
Guillermo.
But
Guillermo.
his next movie, he's like, yeah, we're just going to do someone where
was gonna
all
say.
their insides fall out and it's just skin on skeleton. And,
Yeah.
Snap and Chuck just goes, and it just
Yeah.
like, that's frightening.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
I'm gonna have
Stephen
nightmares.
King had that idea. Thinner. But yeah, so we looked over at the shelf, and there's just here's what we were trying to figure out, because some people do this. Some people taxidermy pets,
Yes.
and I personally listen. If that's what you do, I understand your emotional attachment to your animal. I personally think it's weird. My wife and I joke about it a little bit with our dog. Our dog is 13 years old. He's an old pupper. He's getting on in age, right? He's showing his age a bit.
Name is Marty. Sounds like Sean Connery.
Yeah,
I
his
get it.
name's Marty. He's an adorable little boy, and I love him so much. And so it's a question of what you do, right? And often the dog will be sleeping, curled up on his bed. And I last night made the joke of like, should we stuff him so he looks like he's always sleeping there, like a lot of people do? And she's like, no. That's disgusting, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, it is weird. It's weird to be like, that was my living dog. You know what I mean? It is an odd reminder. I understand the attachment. I get it.
Yeah.
But this was different. This was not an entire taxidermied cat. This was the head
Yep.
of the
head,
cat,
the head of the cat,
and
eyes closed,
eyes
mouth
closed like it's sleeping, and one paw.
Two paws.
Was it two
There
paws?
was two paws.
Okay.
I got the
Yeah,
the
because we played ping
photograph.
pong, and I remember
Yeah.
backswing.
Yeah.
Also,
definitely two paws.
They're doing a
And also, that head does not bounce.
they're doing a CGI. Illumination Studios is doing a movie
Yep.
where they're doing like gangster rap from the '90s, but it's like all animals, so it's playful. Like Snoop Dogg is a dog,
dog,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. And they're doing Two Paws and how he was shot and killed.
Yeah.
Baby Ruth.
Bliss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you didn't even say it. Just candy bar.
The,
candy bar.
notorious PIT.
Candy bar.
Nice.
But yeah, so we were looking at it, and there was a good amount of time where none of us wanted to go over to the shelf because the owner of said cat and home was there.
Right.
And we wanted to be cool. We didn't want to be disrespectful. We're nice boys.
And she's kind and invited us in. She's a great host.
Yes, absolutely.
And again, we do understand the attachment to pets like that. Totally.
Yeah. But we wanted to know, because I couldn't tell from it being in the corner, is the body there and it's just curled up? Because I don't think it is. And we had to check it.
And that's what I said to Brad originally was like, tell me that's not a motherfucking dead cat head in that shelf.
And that's what I told
Brad
him.
said,
Yeah.
it's not a motherfucking dead cat head in that shelf. And I
That's
said,
the kind
"Thank
of
God."
good friend I am.
Yeah. And then
It's an elaborate necklace.
And then that's when I think this started spreading and everything. And eventually there was a lot of focus on it. And I was kind of like, we have to stop. People are going to realize that we're all freaking out.
Oh.
We got to chill out.
This group, the 2 pods became 1 pod
Yeah.
of social interaction.
Yes.
And it was just a dozen people, or 8 people, 9 people, whatever it was, all kind of looking at each other going, like muttering little
I
things
passed
about
out from laughing
And,
too.
and I will say this: we're all kind of flipping out and like and I'm freaking out. I'm nervous, and then I hear Brad talking to the head owner about this whole thing, and I actually hear Brad getting the 411.
Yeah, I had a long conversation about it.
With a serious face.
Eventually, the head greeted us.
With the head.
Yeah, the owner, the person, hey, you know what? Live your life. You do you.
Yes.
Be happy.
Uh-huh.
You know, if you're not hurting anybody. I think the cat didn't feel anything, so I guess we're okay.
Look at you guys just tiptoeing.
We're so
This
woke.
fucking crazy woman walked up to us with a cat head and started talking to us like we were the fucking assholes.
She did walk up with the cat in her hand against her bosom, and the weird part was she was stroking the head
was
of the
petting.
cat.
It's
just weird that it's just a head.
Can I play?
Let me ask a question.
Can I play
really-
devil's advocate?
Oh God, meow honor.
I mean, Brian had said, "I'll kiss it for $20."
Yeah.
Yes, right.
And so when she brought the head over, she's like, "What, Brian? Aren't you going to kiss it?" And I'm like, "Oh my God!" Like she's taunting Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: is it weirder that it's just the head and paws? Would you have reacted the same level of holy shit if it was the full taxidermied body?
I think no.
No way. A detached, decapitated
That's
cat
what's
head
so weird.
is scarier.
That's the weird thing.
And
And what
decapitation is tough.
it made me want to know.
I don't think if it was a full body, she would have brought it over. I
no,
think she would have.
Well, it would have nailed
would've
to a
said-
board or some shit.
Yeah, it would be too big. You'd
Yeah.
have to hold the whole bed.
Now,
or
what I
whatever.
thought they should have done and presented this
Nailed to
thing
a cross
was
is
to
what we were
put
expecting.
Nailed to a
This is way
cross.
better than that. This is way better than that. If you just picture this, Chuck. You walk in the house and there's 2 paws and a head just sticking out of the wall like it got stuck. That's how I would have fucking put
That
this
is
cat
fun.
on.
That's great.
Some graphics of like little
Yeah,
cracks
yeah,
in the
little
wall.
Thing. Help!
With like a little mouse crawling up, like it went after it.
That's
Yeah,
great.
see?
But this immediately made me wonder one of two things had to have happened.
Yeah.
One, did the taxidermist go, listen, here's how much it costs.
That's what it is.
And it's like, whoa, that's a lot. And he's like, well, I can do a head and 2 paws for, half the price.
I know how
right?
much it was.
How much was it?
Should I say it?
Yes.
Yes, we're
I think
protecting. We're
I
not
think it was
saying
$2,000 for the
It was
head.
$2,600, and I did research on this because we talked about it on my podcast, the Wicked Funny Podcast.
Wicked Funny Podcast. Great podcast.
We've
all been on many
talked about
times.
it, and I talked about it fresh after it happened.
And
we did a Google search. It is double the price for a full body. There are taxidermy places that will price out a head.
Oh my
I would
God.
rather
So
go
it was
full
cheaper.
body if I had to do it.
Well,
Obviously.
yeah, unless because the other thing was I'm like either A, it's cheaper, or B, something happened with the body, and that's why you have now a post cat, right?
Oh,
Like it got
that's
run over or
different.
something.
I don't think that happened.
No. I think it was just cheaper, but that's insane.
That makes more sense.
And at $2,600, listen, I understand your emotional
And it had to
attachment.
get shipped out.
But for $2,600, like you could do some real good with that money. How about do that in the honor of Little Boots or whatever the fuck the cat's name is?
Well, then you can't see it. You can't, like, if you give
Take a
donation,
picture.
How about
Yeah.
this? I mean, I don't want to. I'm not going to say
There were
that.
pictures.
Or at
You
least if you're gonna spend that much money, the cat would just look like it was sleeping.
that's the thing. That's-
do something fun with the face.
There
Make
was
it
a
look
memorial.
surprised.
There was a
monocle.
memorial of that. The thing that fucking put the
Make the
pieces
cat
together
like,
for me
Put the hands together. It's Home Alone.
next to the cat.
Look,
That would be very funny too.
you know, if you have separate paws, you can do it for different holidays. You can do the Home Alone at Christmas time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then do like an April Fool's, like
For Halloween, it's just put him out like it's a zombie.
zombie.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Literally.
it is a zombie.
But next to the cat was this collage of pictures.
Talking to the microphone.
Next to the cat, there was a collage of pictures.
Yeah.
And as I'm looking at the pictures, I'm like, oh wow, that cat, that figure looks like the pictures. And then it didn't dawn on me then that was the dead cat in the pictures when it was alive. I just thought they just like this breed of cat. And then when I didn't see a cat, that's when I kind of put it together. And then when I heard, is that a cat head on the shelf? That's when it really all came together for me.
It's so wild. And they had other pets. They had a couple of dogs. And I have to think those dogs are like, we need to be on our best behavior. We need to be cool. Because think about it. Those two dogs, they had this cat around the whole time. Right? The cat was like 30 years old or some shit, right? It was old. She said it was very old.
Yeah.
They had this cat around the whole time they were around, the
Yep.
dogs. And then one day, the cat went away. And a few days later, their owner, the person that gives them food, came back, pulled out the cat's head from a box. And like a trophy, put it on the shelf for them to see at all times.
That's a
I
good
see.
point.
I'm looking at it this
And the dogs are
differently.
just like,
I like the thing.
is that the fucking cat?
I like the thing.
Is that the fucking cat?
I like the thing. I like to think the dog wasn't around. I like to think the dog wasn't around while she put the cat head on the shelf, and they just think that cat's been waiting to pounce for weeks. Like that any day now, that cat's ready to jump. Be careful. Be careful, Rufus. Don't go under the
imagine
cat.
that.
It's gonna pounce on you.
Imagine that. Imagine being somebody like that lived in a house with a bunch of people, and one day one of the people left, and then their head and hands were left on a shelf.
Yeah. Actually, here's what it is. Here's exactly what it is. Imagine you were kept in a pen in a house, and there was someone who spoke another language that you didn't understand, and sometimes they were nice to you, and sometimes they weren't happy with what you did.
Sometimes they
There's three
rub
of
your
you.
face in your own piss.
Wait a minute. I think you're just describing the Peanuts gang. And then all of a sudden, Pigpen's head is on a fucking
Exactly.
Charlie Brown's like, oh.
So I do have the devil's advocate thing, and I this is giving away a little bit of information.
Devil's
so I hope
advocate.
that's okay.
Yeah.
The person who owns this cat head
Yeah.
is a veterinarian.
That's right.
Assistant.
So
Oh, wow.
So it's a veterinary assistant. It's a different job.
Mr. Corrector today.
When the button.
You gotta take that shirt off.
Yeah, I
Get
gotta
that shirt out of here.
Oh my god! You take the shirt off. You're gonna unleash all of Brad today. You're gonna unleash.
He's
Keep
gonna-
that
he
shirt
would
on,
button
man.
it back
We
up.
He
can't-
would say
we can
that
barely contain
at the vet.
unbuttons.
He would say that at the vet. He would bring his cat
I'll say,
to the vet,
And they'll
then-
say
be
your
like,
cat's
"Oh,
dead, and he'll
well, I'm
say,
a veterinarian."
You're just the assistant."
Yeah, yeah, but can you get I don't know a
The
real
doctor.
doctor in here? Right?
He's buttoning up his shirt.
Like you look around, you just start like there's like clearly what is just like a nurse, right? A male nurse, but you're talking to him as if he's the
of
doctor,
course.
right?
Well, that's why I fit in so well on Brian's shows.
So
Devil's cat advocate.
So I think that if you are, you obviously, as a person who works in that field,
Yeah.
you definitely have to be more open to gore, dead animals than the average human. We'd all agree on that.
Yes.
You
Sure.
probably have to get more desensitized to that stuff.
Some of them I think get off on it. Some of them I think love putting them down.
Yes. And
They like to see the life leave their eyes.
so I think, if you think about that,
I'm sorry.
you're closer to someone who might be okay with a dead animal head in your house.
Yeah, but at what point are you like the feline Ed Gein?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you just have all these parts, like because over the course of your life, especially somebody who has multiple animals in their home,
Yep.
multiple pets. Like we just have our dog. That's
Yeah.
it. And when he dies, we're gonna be fucking devastated.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But we'll have another dog. Right, we're looking for another dog now to kind of Venn diagram their lives a little
thinking,
bit,
yeah.
just for Finn's
For Finn,
sake,
of
for my
course,
son's
yeah.
sake, you know.
Yeah.
And also to kind of shake that new dog up a little bit.
Right.
Right. Like, whoa, we got to watch ourselves.
So here, maybe now,
maybe now.
the head.
Well,
Get that head
not
up
for
there.
$2,600. You know what I can do for free?
me and Brad-
wave the dead body around a little bit.
Me and Brad have a couple bottles. We can,
We'll buy some.
And your dog will fit. You got
He's got a
tiny
needle
dog.
and thread in.
I don't know. You might have to get a jar for the dog.
I don't know.
The face is all fucked up.
His eye is
I'm not good with faces. I'm not good with faces.
You're just doing a head.
Yeah.
It'll look like one of those. You know when you go to the aquarium, you can buy a shark in a jar. That'll be Ray's dog.
Yeah. Oh, the fetal
Formaldehyde.
pig. You know.
Yeah.
But you know, we will have that moment.
That's my drag queen.
Fetal pig.
Fetal pig. I'm shark in a jar.
I like that. I like that.
Careful, it's gonna
See
get
him work
toothy.
his. See him work his jaws.
He used to go by formaldehyde. Like that's so ridiculous. But yeah, so we were at this function. This cat head was there, and we
As well.
freaked out for a while.
Yes.
And I did feel like I felt a little bad because it was a recent thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do feel there was definitely some passive aggression on the host's part.
I didn't
when they
feel-
came over doing the petting and stuff. Oh, do you want to talk about the cat? And da-da-da. I think there was a little bit of passive aggressive. Like I've heard you guys whispering and muttering.
I didn't
Can
feel
I
the
reply
passive
to
aggression.
that?
No, I didn't think there was any passive aggressiveness.
Oh,
either.
okay.
There
All right.
was. I feel like there was.
right.
Okay.
I feel like there was.
The host
way
counts.
that-
The guest
and I
counts
count as
2 points. That's right.
Yeah.
I feel like there was because to have an item like this in your house, is
Some would call it a totem.
Yeah. So if I like,
We should make a totem pole. Marty,
You'd have to kill a lot of cats.
No,
Brad.
I know somebody who could make a totem pole.
But when people come over to my house, I have Legos on the shelf. They say, "Look at those Legos."
Yeah.
You have a fucking cat head on your shelf.
Yes.
People are going to fucking see it.
It's a conversation
and
piece.
people are going
That's
to
what she
fucking.
said. That's how she
You know,
justified
and-
paying the money. I
and
mean,
it's-
it's a conversation piece.
And
It's an
what are you supposed
icebreaker.
to? You like, Brad. I don't know how you walked up to this woman and said, "Oh, what's up with your fucking dead cat?"
What did you say? Did
What
you
did
say
you
that?
say? How
I
did you
said,
do
"What's up with
that?
your fucking
What's
dead cat?"
fucking dead cat?
That was what I said. No, I said
He unbuttoned his shirt.
I apologized 100 times and then said,
But why are you apologizing?
well, here's what I was like, I'm
'Cause he's a
sorry.
pussy.
Like if I
He's our lovable
what?
guy.
I don't even think I finished. And she was like, the cat? And I'm like, yeah, is that? And she's like, it is. It's taxidermied. And she explained the whole thing. You know, I adopted this cat. It's the best, blah, blah, blah. And went through the whole thing. And we talked
mean,
about pets and pet
It just
loss.
isn't
and,
the best. Let's
and,
be honest. It's a
and-
dead cat.
Right. But we went through the whole story.
In terms of cats, it sucks at being a cat.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's failing
Actually-
at the one thing.
To be honest,
Actually, the
it's not a
cleanup.
cat.
The
Yeah.
cleanup is pretty great.
I mean, most of it is basically a tennis ball
Yeah.
on the inside.
So I just asked. That was it. And then as the jokes, I think she understands. There's a room full of comics.
Yeah.
I didn't
You're in a
sense
room full
intentional
of comedians
passive
in a-
aggression.
Chuck.
And it's not like we're and that's the thing. It's not like it was a situation where we were the only ones there. There was another
There were a
30.
lot, yeah.
There was like another 30, 35 people in this house.
Yeah.
And so what do you like as
And
a
two
group
terrified dogs.
and two terrified dogs and, a cat head.
three alive cats, I think.
They had 3 cats
There
there?
were at least 2.
Really?
There were other
Yeah.
cats. I didn't see cats.
any of the other
Oh,
cats. I
that's
would've
that's
fucking
all I was
left.
looking for.
Survivors.
But yeah, like I think if you're gonna display something like that, you have to realize people are going to react to it in different ways.
Yes.
Right? Same
Yes.
thing when we tell a joke that might be offensive. People are going to react to it in different ways. You could tell a joke, somebody might laugh. You could tell a joke, somebody will fucking get on stage and try to take the microphone and tell people to be better.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So I think the way, with that condescending way she came up was
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of dickish in a way, because it's like,
I wouldn't say passive aggressive.
passive, what did I say?
Dickish.
Oh yeah. It was dickish because this is not a normal thing that is displayed in houses, and you gotta
Right,
realize
right.
people. So to come over and like forcibly make us watch you pet the cat head and tell us the story about how it came, and instead of just bringing it in the house, the boyfriend drove it to work so she could see it at work, and the price of it, and hearing all this, like, yeah, that's a lot to take in.
I
for
thought
me.
I thought she was doing it to be like, yes, I know this is kind of odd. I'm coming over as like almost like an olive branch of like, I know this is crazy and this is that. That's what I thought.
I read
was.
it. I read it as mostly that, and I
Okay.
do think it's awkward because in that situation she realizes we're all talking about it. I can understand from her perspective, like, hey, I did this thing. It's fairly new. This was a choice made out of a grief kind of place, right? And
She did say something that makes me feel like she's like, my mom thinks this is fucking nuts.
oh yeah, that's right.
So
yeah,
she does
yeah,
have.
yeah.
It's not like she's
And then
like,
she
what?
points,
Well,
and
me
the
and her
mom's
mom
head is
are
on
on
a
the
shelf.
Or she thought it was fucking
My
nuts.
mom, my mom
she goes,
thinks this is nuts, but it's just a cat head.
How's this for fucking nuts? And she has the mom.
Yeah.
I think it's nuts.
She's
she would
doing
say
the
to me,
voice.
she would say to me, why you gotta get the cat head?
Make your pet a puppet. That's a fun way to remember.
So you don't have a pet? You have a cat.
I do.
I have a dog. You don't have a cat. You're afraid of cats and you don't like dogs.
yeah, and I used to have an alligator.
That's right. Yeah, he had an alligator.
I have a dog, but it's
That's not a joke. He
Oh,
had
all
an
right. I
alligator.
thought it was a joke.
You-
I was
your
waiting. I was
eyes narrowed.
waiting
You're
for
like,
a punchline. I was trying to figure out.
2023. You don't know what to fucking believe.
I was trying to figure out the
anymore. Yeah, I
angle of
used
the
to-
joke.
Yeah.
I used to have an American alligator.
Okay.
As a pet, and he was
Oh, dude,
Red-
you're not
red,
gonna
white, and
believe
blue.
this.
He
Are
was
you
the
ready?
length of my arm.
That
Yeah, so
alligator
length of
was
my arm from
from
the
New
tip-
Zealand.
Oh no!
Talked all fucked up. He was from New Zealand, but he talked in Ebonics. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, when I first met you, you had the alligator.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, I'm on the phone with Ray, and I go, hold on, the alligator got out. And he's like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm cleaning the tank. And you're like, no, the alligator? I'm like, yeah, I have an alligator. It got out from behind the board. And you're like, when did you become a villain in a Bond movie?
yeah.
But doesn't that sound like you would put that in a script of a movie of like somebody going over to a drug dealer's house?
Oh yeah.
And they have an alligator in like the bathtub or something?
yeah.
We knew someone that had like a full grown alligator that they had to like fight to feed and had
Yeah.
to make a shield and stuff like that.
Really?
At
They were
what
doing it
point were
wrong.
you like, hey, I gotta stop?
Fight to feed.
Way before that happened.
Yeah. The second that you start thinking about like, maybe I should get a shield. Maybe I should fashion a form of defense.
My Leo was so nice. He was the nicest alligator. He would just sit on my leg. I'd put a kiddie pool out in the summertime, and he would like sit in the kiddie pool, swim around, bask, and I would soak my feet in the pool.
Would you ever bite?
No, I mean, he snapped a couple times, but just being around me, he got used to my scent. So to me, I was just another alligator.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and I would feed him very consistently. So it was like he only knew it was food when, I would ring a bell and fucking wait and then drop food in. Like it was very, it wasn't like, hey, I'm here, here's the food, and I'm waving food, because then he's gonna bite you every time. But yeah,
You're dancing around with food between your
Yes,
legs.
yeah, I put the mice. You do a fruit bowl. I wrap the mouse. I tie the mouse tail around the tip of my dick and wave it in the alligator's face.
Was it mice?
Yeah, I'd feed him little mice. Yeah, and then when he got
Living mice?
yeah, when he got
So fucked. I can't handle
couldn't
that.
do that.
I
You
can't
had
handle
to.
that.
You had to, yeah,
Why can't he do dead mice?
because they
It's a DJ.
where you gonna store them, and they
multiple DJs.
don't really sell dead mice, and I don't want to defrost a mouse before I fucking I just rather just go to the store, a couple bucks for a mouse. throw it in the tank.
I don't like
could
it.
never do it.
Yeah, I don't like
That's
it.
But that's the thing. I know it sounds humane, but that's what this
Inhumane.
thing inhumane. But that's what he eats.
I
you
get
know?
it.
It's like,
I-
it's
yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
I know the circle of life is
Yeah,
tough.
no, but it's
Yeah.
like when somebody has a snake and they feed them mice and stuff. And I'm like, it's weird that you have a pet that requires you take other pets and feed them to it. You know what I
know,
mean? Because
I
then
know.
there's a kid with a mouse going, I got my mouse and it's my mouse. And you're like, that's food for my pet.
I've seen
your pet's
people.
your pet's a pussy, and mine's a fucking apex predator.
I think
I think apex might be the wrong word there.
I
but-
think-
Sure.
I've seen people that have barracudas. This is just online, and I don't even watch the actual video. But they put mice in the tank, and
Yeah,
they're swimming in
yeah,
the tank,
yeah,
and
yeah.
the barracudas eat them.
Yeah, I hate it.
I hate it too.
I hate it
too.
Yeah.
I do have a pet.
I don't judge you for it because I understand that that's what that animal eats.
Right.
I get it. But at the same
When he
time,
got
it's
bigger,
just
I ended
like,
up giving him chicken. When he was big enough to be able to
Yeah.
digest, I would give him some raw chicken.
What happened to it?
Well, when I moved out where I was living at the time. I was at my parents' house. I moved back into my parents' house. When I moved out of that, my new place, you couldn't have fish tanks, and so I'm like, well,
What about
it's
crock
only- Yeah, I'm
tanks?
like, what if it's half full? And they're like, well, you can't have pets. I'm like, what? Okay, no pets at all. No, no pets at all.
What if it's a complicated art installation?
I'm like, yeah. What if?
What if
what's
it's a complicated friendship?
It's an emotional support alligator, which it fucking was.
Yeah.
But anyway, I gave it to a friend, and there was an Ebola outbreak in the water in my town, and they like this family was great. They had like 4 or 5 different fish tanks, turtle tanks, alligators, and they just had like a collection of death that day.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
because they had just changed all the water and all the tanks. And all the
Damn.
animals had just gotten acclimated to the new water that was just riddled with Ebola.
Or E. coli?
Yeah,
E. coli?
E. coli. Yeah, coli. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Thank you.
I
You
do
know what I mean.
Yeah.
I have a dog. It's just a complicated situation about my dog. But you started talking about everyone having
the dog took you to court.
right. They had you talked about the idea. You were asking everybody about their pets, and
Yeah.
obviously you were going to the point of like, what do you?
Would you get it dermied?
No. Rosie and I are going to be cremated at the same time, regardless of who goes
Regardless of
first.
who goes first. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
probably true.
If she goes,
You
I'm
got the raw
diving
end of
on
the
the
deal,
pyre.
man.
Well,
Lifespan wise. You know?
Yeah, I can't do. I could never do it. I could never do it.
Yeah.
I could never have. I don't know.
I couldn't do it either. Like, I love my dog. This is in my life. There have been 2 dogs. I had my dog as a kid, Jake. Loved that dog so much. He lived for a very long time. He was like 16. It's crazy, something like that. And when I went to college, obviously the dog stayed with my mom, and when he died, my mom was just like, she got the ashes of the dog back.
Right.
And I mean, that's kind of weird. I remember seeing them in there, and I'm like, that's my old dog, And she was like, I'm not getting another dog. Jake was my dog. That's it. I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. That's like a lovely thing, right? And then I have Marty, and Marty's been around forever. We were just, Kalina and I were reminiscing about how long we've had our dog because we were back in Bangor, Maine last week. That's where we got him.
Yep.
And it's wild. And even Kalina was just like, yeah, I can't believe Marty's been with us through all of this stuff.
Right.
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 He's older than my son. He's been around this whole time. So it's going to be fucking terrifying and awful.
Your dog's lived in 3 states, my man.
Yeah. And he's originally from Alabama, dude.
What?
He's a Bama dog, dude.
No shit. A
Yeah.
Bama
Marty
dog?
has a
An
deep
accent.
South accent.
In his mind. Yeah. He sounds like shit. Hello there, Ray. Oh no. That's like
that accent.
that's like
Bayou
Louisiana. That's a
Yes.
Bayou one. Oh, okay. No, he's like dang old freaking old man. Hey.
Ray came home the other day, and Marty was putting all the Budweiser cans in the trash.
Yeah. Yep.
I think we've hit a stopping point.
Yeah, we got him. But my point is, I could not do it.
No.
I just couldn't do it. But I understand the level of grief. To me, the taxidermied animal, in my mind, like if I had Marty stuffed,
Yep.
it would just remind me of the loss.
Me too.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I wouldn't be like, I'm going to pet the thing. Like, it just doesn't work for me. I understand people are different. Different people, different strokes.
Different
for
folks.
different folks.
Oh.
Okay? Different cats
Different heads.
for different cats. Right?
Oh.
Cats. People, hey,
What
you're a cool
about heads?
cat.
Use heads.
Different heads lay in different beds.
That's true.
Right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Different dogs for different
Hogs.
logs.
Oh.
Sogs.
Baby Ruthless.
Logs. Togs. Gogs.
Yeah.
Different Brads for different dads.
That's true.
That is true.
Whenever I meet a new
Yeah.
dad, I'm a different facet of myself.
He sees a dad, he starts unbuttoning his shirt.
I gotta be cool
He's
with
a
this.
3-button dad.
There's a dad coming.
And here's one for you. You can save this
Let
for,
me
for
fruit
your,
basket
your
this dude.
autobiography. Different fucks for different chucks.
Yeah.
Right? I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. That
They're
is
very
good.
different.
I think we've had a lot of conversation today.
Yeah.
I think we've talked a lot of about different things. I don't know why I took the wheel on this
No, it's-
episode.
we're
But
ready.
What I did was I took the wheel at the beginning and then I went, and then we drifted. We just went all over the
all
place.
went like this.
We went off multiple cliffs. Yeah. We were all waiting for a bajibber.
It's just the Benny Hill theme
Whoa.
playing.
Yakety sax.
Yes.
Yeah. But we've had a lot of fun here.
Yes.
And I always enjoy having Brian Beaudoin
Oh,
on
yeah.
any
Yeah.
kind of podcast. Of
course,
You've
buddy.
been
You
on
guys.
every iteration of podcasting I've ever done.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
I'm glad to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We almost blacked out laughing once.
Yeah.
In the first iteration
A
of
lot of
podcasting.
times.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. We're
Yeah.
gonna have to play like a clip of that.
Yeah.
There's a moment to this day I've never laughed that hard on a podcast. And I don't think you have either.
No.
Y'all remember 1992 when
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was at the top of the game.
oh, Full House was rocking the
Charts.
ratings? I don't know, whatever.
Uncle Jesse still had a career.
Y'all remember 1992 when
Where whoop, there it is. Was at the top of the charts.
Let him finish, goddammit. We'll be here all fucking night. Christ. Y'all remember 1992
When Millie and Vanilli were both alive.
back when they were actually singing, when hardcore rap was MC Hammer.
Baby, baby. When everybody was too legit to quit.
Hey, too legit. Too legit.
When the Addams Family was doing what they want to do and saying what they want to say.
Nobody will ever get that. All right. Yeah, y'all remember 1992?
When O.J. Simpson was a football player and not a murderer.
Oh, God. Y'all remember... Y'all remember 1992?
When Jerry Sandusky thought his future was bright as fuck. He was just like, I got a great thing going right now.
I could never ruin this.
No one will ever find out.
Oh, my God.
1992, when Jerry Sandusky was too legit to quit.
He definitely did what he wanted to do.
And nobody said what they wanted to say.
Hey, you all remember 1992?
Yes.
I think so.
I haven't laughed that hard since 1992.
That's a callback to a thing that doesn't exist yet. That's a call forward.
Yes.
Oh, like Lost season 3.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
Only good.
Yeah.
But no,
good
Brian,
season
thank
three.
you so much for
Thanks
coming on.
Thanks for
buddy.
having me.
Yeah,
This
we
was
didn't
great.
get into your backstory, but that's
fuck
okay.
it.
We don't need it.
Do it
right?
another day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
We'll have you back.
Yeah, it'd be great to be back.
Yeah, you want to
Yeah.
come back?
Sure.
Yeah, the show will pay for it, you know?
Oh, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
Good.
If not, we'll stuff you and
Yeah,
Put my
you
head
know
on the
what?
fucking
Yeah.
job. Oh, can
Now-
I tell you one story about the boyfriend of the person that owned the cat head? I talked to them one day, and they were like, "Oh, this dog, I think he's sick. He's gonna die soon." And I just said, "That's a big head." He's like, "Huh?" I'm like, "It's a big head. It's a big head."
That's great.
That's fun.
so good. But Brian, can you tell people where you can be found, like socials and things like that?
Yeah,
If-
social at Beaudoin Brian, BeAuDoin. And then you can go to IllinoisCockburn.com, and that'll...
Going, I know.
it's a thing.
I
Yeah,
know.
IllinoisCockburn.com. That'll take you to my
Brad had
podcast
that
page where, if you want to listen to my tomfoolery, you can go to the Wicked Funny podcast.
and the
right.
Wicked Funny
Yeah,
podcast is a lot of fun. It's been really fun to watch that show evolve and
Yeah.
become more and more personal. You're very personal on the show, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
Thank
We've
you.
all been on in different
Yeah.
Oh,
forms.
We've all been on many times.
Yeah,
All
you
of
guys
us.
are reoccurring friends on the show. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What a Wicked Funny family, you guys. That's
Yeah.
that's what we call it.
WFF.
Well,
Yeah.
I for a long time, I've been pitching a live show where we do a Wicked Funny podcast with Brian, Frank, and former co-host Katie versus the Funbearable podcast live in some kind of game thing.
Oh, I'm down.
I would love to do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I like all of you. You're all my friends. Brian's my closest, but we would fucking demolish you.
Oh, absolutely.
Whatever it is, we
Frank,
would
my
wipe the
co-host, is
floor
a
with
fucking idiot. You know, I don't like.
There's not enough buttons on his shirt to really pull up that confidence. You know what I mean?
Frank is a tool. I hate him.
Frank's
Frank.
a great guy. I
hate
love
him.
Frank
I
Azzaro.
hate
Great
him.
guy.
I hate him.
I love Frank Azzaro. He's
I
a
hate
wonderful
Frank
guy.
Azzaro.
his pizza takes need work.
Yeah.
Where he's like,
yeah.
oh, my favorite pizza is Cumberland Farms pizza.
Yeah, his favorite pizza
Says the guy that eats fucking gas station meat all the time.
gas
Yeah, but I'm
rib
not saying
sandwiches.
it's my favorite rib sandwich.
Yeah, he's not walking around calling it cuisine.
Yeah.
You know,
I
it's
think
just
we
he
know how
eats it.
everything pairs up.
Yeah.
You and Frank together can go eat at a gas station.
will.
All right. Brian and I are going to have a great time just being buds.
Go to Ruby
And
Tuesday.
me and
and
Katie.
you and Katie can be shrill together.
I was gonna say the eye candy of the show.
shrill eye candy.
yeah, seen and not heard.
Shrill eye candy is my other drag.
Oh, man, this has been a
Katie
lot of
Arroyo's
fun.
mine.
I've never seen you and Katie in the same room.
Perfect.
Brad, please let us go home.
Thank you all so much for being with us today here on Funbearable. You can find us at Funbearable Pod for Ray Harrington and Chuck Staten and special guest Brian Beaudoin. I am Brad Rohr saying thank you so much for being here with us, and we're sorry for being Funbearable.